The Sound Revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, Channel 112. It's all about you.
Paddler's Diapers. Paddlers for comfort, care, and cost. Absorbent, long-lasting diapers for babies and adults. I will only give my loved ones the best. Paddlers are available at Lanes and selected distributors. Lanes, the family store for value.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I embark on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride. Not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips, beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Yo,
Biggest throwbacks.
Rude boys and rude girls, 20th anniversary jam. Some call it boomsy, some call it bam bam, some call it juicy, cause that's the way they like it. Some call it behind, but that's for the line. I call it a hump, especially when it's big and plump. This carnival day, I come out to play, a feeling to misbehave. It's me and a woman on the rampage, rumpin', 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 rumpin' on a hump. I say I windin' on a hump.
Jacinta good wine, Jacinta good wine, Jacinta good wine, she could wine like a ball at wine. Jacinta could wine, she could wine like a ball at wine. Roll and wine like a ball at wine. Roll and wine, roll and wine, roll and wine like a ball at wine. You do chop my eyes with your see.
Rollin', baby.
Oh, you look so fine, so pretty girl.
Rollin', baby.
Girl to me,
Light my fire.
step by step,
I jam you harder.
you and me,
Bumper to fender.
one on one.
We jump together.
Grind it,
Put the waist on fire.
grind it.
Put the waist on fire.
Turn the room see,
Turn it.
swing the room see. Come baby, grind it,
Put the waist on fire.
grind it.
Put the waist on fire.
Turn the room see, swing the room see. Riding the bumper, moving like a chatter, pushing, jamming harder, riding, getting sweeter. The sweetness just got me, walking like a crazy. Now I getting busy, jamming it steady. Grind it, grind it. Turn the room see, swing the room see. Grind it, grind it. Turn the room see.
No massive, no massive. Are you feeling fine? Are you feeling fine? No massive, no massive. Put the ranks them high, put the ranks them high and tell them we no one on soft. Tune in the place, just give me the rhythm. Don't wait on me waist. We no one on soft. Tune in the place, just give me the rhythm. Don't wait on me waist. This a brand new style, it's wicked and wild. Yes, the people are moving all over the place. Yes, you want a change, just speed up the pace. For this carnival, listen to the dance. Wait a new band pattern for the back and I'll just tell them we no want no stop. Tune in the place, just give me the rhythm. Don't wind on me waist. We no want no stop. Tune in the place, just give me the rhythm. Don't wind on me waist.
That one was from Squitty. Where's Squitty though? I know he was employed at the Central Water and Sewage Authority back in those days. I haven't seen him in a bit. I haven't heard from him in a bit. Big up Squitty. He hailed from somewhere in the Mesopotamia Valley. Big up Squitty. Anyways, good morning. Morning. Today is old school. Thursday. Throwback Thursday is the correct name. Good morning. Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. It's another day. It's an early morning cup of tea. You call me bush tea, and Shady would be coffee. Yeah. You choose. Good morning. Rise and shine. All they come. Pick up Samuel. Samuel is saying, well, boy, he was the first one on the light this morning. Samuel, you should be rewarded, brethren. Because it's usually George. I ain't see George. Yeah. Give Samuel some love. Morning, Samuel. Morning. All you come. Morning, Roslyn. Morning, Alicia. Laurel. Good morning, Builderman. Good morning, Rosemary. Good morning, Andy Freitas is inside with us. Good morning, all you come. Tell everybody to call somebody and let them tell everybody else we on the inside. Fugitive rolling it down for another day. I think it's gonna be today and tomorrow. Give God thanks for the opportunities. Big up to all those of you who've been reaching out and offering the encouragement, and the inspiration and the motivation and calling and giving good recommendation and good reviews. Now I appreciate it all. And listen, there's no me without you. Big up all yourself, and I appreciate the love. Thank you. We're inside. Of course you know we're gonna be blazing. We got, before we get things steaming up inside here, we got the Rotary Club coming inside around 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. So we'll be chit-chatting about the Glow Run that's coming up on June 14th. So we'll be talking about that for a little bit this morning at around 7:10 for about 20 minutes thereabout, and then we jump inside some action. And we keep it locked inside Boom 106.9 on a Thursday morning.
Man, you lick it up already. You mash it up again. Ain't when judges them up. I want to keep from stone. Yo. She gon' wake me up since 4 o'clock. Right, man, tap the dot. She said she put in breakdown. She want me fix it, so she open the bonnet for me to see what's on set. When me check the carburetor, a screw was lacking, so me take the screwdriver, me screw it back in. When me check the distributor, for anti fluid, me get in and swing the engine. Me get it started. Hey, what she telling me? Very softly. Hey, she want don't bust me engine, don't bust me engine, don't bust me engine. Hear me? Change your engine. Check this.
Total explosion, get it up. Check the side out. Roll the butts and wine, shake the butts and wine. Got all the rude boys going wild when the girls start. Roll the butts and wine, shake the butts and wine. See how the woman then getting on in front of man boots just round and round. Rudeness on the road. Yes, the whole place going mad. Girls getting on real bad. Rudeness on the road.
It's 7 o'clock, it's time to cross over inside our number 2. Welcome aboard Fitzmore, good morning. Morning. Angela Stowe. Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Cecilia. Velda, good morning, Velda Honeyford. Morning, Mervyn, morning. Velda wants to know what happened to the Badman. Even a Badman needs a day off every now and again. He's probably resting up. But he's good. Don't worry yourself. All is well. Alright? It's 7 o'clock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. We'll be back inside 7.
SVG starts with OMG in the morning on the trending station. OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 106.9.
you the best throwback.
You know I was born for this. Tell them I'm certified, qualified, I was made for this. Give me this soca music, pump it up cause I can't resist. Tonight I'm going hard, fetting hard till I get dismissed. Too much shit up, I insist, yeah. Cause I feel it to fly, fly so high. Addicted to the vibe, I feel so when I sign up it and I dripping with sweat, you know it. Oh yeah, hey, I'm a soca addict. And when I'm out on the road and I'm losing control, you know it. Oh yeah, hey, I'm a soca addict. Leave me, let me jump up. Leave me, let me wave up. Leave me, let me mash up. I'm a soca addict. Leave me, let me jump up. Leave me, let me wave up. Leave me, let me mash up. I'm a soca addict.
From one fit to the next one, still carrying on. Give me music and liquor, still fetting on. Once there is woman soca, the session bound to turn over. Money pull up, DJ play it over. Not leaving this party sober. Raise me glass, toast the light. Time to free on my mind. Bring the grass, let me light. Watch me free on my mind. Right now I'm frost to the bone. I'm begging you, leave me alone. Right now I'm frost to the bone. I'm begging you, leave me alone. Right now I'm frost. Right now I'm drifting. Right now I'm frost. Right now I don't pass deep sail. Right now I'm frost. Right now I'm drifting. Right now I'm frost.
Boom! Put your hands on my eyes, can see. Show me a signal out there. All hard-working people, don't make the devil defeat you. Anything one mind won't fail. Righteousness always prevail. We burn bad men and burn evil, but it's not an easy road. Road, it's not an easy road. Road, it's not an easy road. No easy road. Put your hands in the air and jump and tell them God people will rise above. Good people will rise above. Job people will rise above. We will rise above. Good people will rise above. Job people will rise above.
All you know me. Mama, don't worry. Yeah, Mama, don't worry.
Throwback Thursday.
It's been too long that I know you from Mama child. And everything that I wanted, you give it to me, then smile. You did it time after time. You put your life on the line. But all I want you to know is that you'll always be on my mind. Cause I love you, Mama, I love you. Just put a smile on your face and forget about all the stress. I love you, Mama, I love you. But even though that I'm gone, you're not on your own. Mama, don't worry, yeah. Mama, don't worry, yeah. Mama, don't worry, yeah. Mama, don't worry, yeah. Come let we jump together, spin your rock and run and over. If you love your mother, on will always forever. Then let's have a toast to Mama. Come let we jump together, spin your rock and run and over. If you love your mother, you got a face of an angel and your body complete. With your silky lips, girl, they make it smile so sweet. Your hair so lovely, natural beauty, African lady. You gotta have my baby, girl. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, girl. I love how you love how you love how you got my world. I love when I love when I love when I love when you whine for me, whine for me, whine for me. You are my queen, my African queen, my queen. Take me back to my roots now. Bambade, 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 bambade.
Bambade, bambade, bambade. All the queens, the princesses, good morning. The Nubian empresses, good morning, good morning. Patrick, Eli, my brother. Blessed morning. George is checking inside. George says that he is locked on all the way in Rome, Italy. George, don't forget, my brother, don't forget when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do, my brother. Don't ever forget that. Don't carry your Vinci bad ways up inside there. Alright. Debbie, good morning, Debbie. We're sending some good morning greetings to Andy Freitas, Miss Glenda McIntosh, Mrs. Jacqueline Maynard, Mr. Winston Jambons Young. I ain't see Jambons yet. And George, good morning. Michelle is on the inside as well. Good morning, good morning. Now, let me say top of the morning to the students, day number 2, the CPEA students and the parents. Not too sure if you got anything left over from yesterday to be biting on. Not too sure how many of y'all have hair remaining and all that. You know how it is. Y'all know how y'all do it. But good morning to the parents as well. Wishing the kids all the best, the very best. Don't be hard on them. Don't be hard on them, please. Say a little prayer, and let the Almighty do the rest. Good. Yeah, don't be hard on them. Wishing them the very best. And just let them know, remind them that you love them whether or not. Good, bad, ugly. In terms of the results. Oh my God, the devil is, the devil busy. Ah, jeez. Yeah, but in terms of the results, I mean, let them know that you love them, whether or not. All right. This morning, let me throw it out all the time before the Rotary comes inside. They're here already. We just put in a few things in place to accommodate them. Right. You know, not too sure if you've been paying attention. And I am certain that you must have been paying attention. I have been paying attention, and what I realize is that, you know, more and more Vincentians are becoming more outspoken. They're more educated about the issues that are pertinent issues, that are affecting our everyday lives. And I've been seeing more and more persons speaking out. Even within their little groups, they've been discussing, you know, different things that are affecting us on a daily basis. Those that are being addressed, things that are happening, those that are not being addressed, and the things that they would love to see, or the direction that we'll all love to see St. Vincent and the Grenadines go as soon as possible, because God knows. So the question is, what are some of the things that you think, or from your own experience, what are some of the things that you will be paying attention to? What are some of the things that would help you to decide or determine how you vote in the upcoming general elections? Hit us up and let us know when we go inside. That's where we want to go. You know, I think even though the CBI will still pop up every now and again, I think we've had a good run with the CBI program, the for and against, the do's and the don'ts, and we've had some. Listen, the discussion where that is concerned, I am really, really surprised, and it's welcoming, because it is evident that it has gone beyond the silly narrative of Mina Sell passport. That's not working anymore. And I think even from the government side, they too have realized that it is not as effective just putting out that slang, that slogan. They too have realized that it's non-effective. It's invalid right now. No use, because Vincentians, whether it is on their own or they've been listening, it's not working. So they are even more aggressive with changing the narrative and ensuring that it's like in a referendum right now when it comes to the CBI. The yes and the no's, we've been getting it for weeks now, and I'm loving it. More and more people are sensitized about the things that are affecting us. What are some of the things that you think Vincentians will be paying attention to in the upcoming general election? Some people might say crime or the response to crime. Some people, I think what is at the top of the agenda for most people is the economy. Good morning. Who's inside with us? Good morning.
Good morning, brother Fuji. Nice to hear you again.
Morning. Welcome. It's always a pleasure being inside, you know.
Well, it's not just a matter of being inside, and it's a matter of somebody who can talk to us in a truthful way. Because, I mean, Fuji, anybody could call and talk. We have to be honest.
I try my best to be honest.
And one of the things I want to say to you, there's a little passion in me. You know what brings me out is because a lot of worthless going on in our country. Fuji, you're not a worthless person. And you have to be proud of that. But if you're worthless, it doesn't matter whether you're a friend, I'm going to tell you so. We have to understand there's a God. We have to understand there's a hurricane season. We have to understand last year. In fact, I lived 40 years. Come here in the little old house here. You say you don't want to come here. But look and thank God that any serious weather, my house wouldn't be here. And we have to be thankful. And when God give us good health and God give us ability where we can live, we could mind our family, have a roof over. We don't come and destroy others and come and ready to go and please people. It's just one thing. I just want to say that to get it off before we go any forward, and then maybe later if there's anything could But it's the CBI. I have said that I've warned the NDP be very careful with the presentation made by Mr. Gonsalve about the CBI. It's not just a matter of being fraudulent. It's a matter of what he's saying. And there are concerns from other opposition parties about CBI across, and so we have to be very careful that we don't just look at it in a political way. And yesterday, as a very serious blunder was made, and so I want to get that blunder out of the way so that we could, set the public straight.
Amo, is it that you don't pay attention to what is being thrown out, or you just call and figure that you're going to take it in whatever direction you want to take it?
I'm not taking it. I'm sticking to the topic that you're speaking about. You asking me, why are we supporting?
No. I ask, what do you think? What are some of the things you think Vincentians will be or would be paying attention to in the upcoming general election? What are some of the things? What are some of the things that would determine the outcome?
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, one of the things, of course, I would love to see CBI. Because Citizens by Investment Program, as I said, not for what Gonsalve making up, has put 1.1 billion 2023. We didn't see the figures for 2024 in the coppers for the Grenadians. That means hospital, medicine for the hospital. That means children can have their toilet paper in school like they can't have now. It means then that we would have a productive country where businesses are going to strive. So that is one of the things, but I am saying yesterday a blunder was made and we need to clarify. Malta was named. Malta Golden Passport Scheme rejected by the EU. And so there is a very serious situation where a man came on yesterday to push Malta, not knowing that Malta basically passport scheme is rejected by the court.
Yes.
And why is it rejected by the court?
That has been for some time now.
Yes. Why is it rejected by the court? You have literally hundreds of thousands of people into Malta, and the people of Malta object to it, because what it was basically doing is that they were given privileges, just like how we saw when people coming across the border. But yet, this Mr. Shallow didn't know that, and he came on yesterday and this is what I warned them, and this is what we have in common, is that before you come on a radio, you have to be able to research. And you know what is so painful is that the very main issues that affect me, inflation, the main issues that affect the people, unemployment, the main issues that you saw changes in America and in Trinidad are not raised by the politician. They're more concerned about whether a politician is a big man, whether Shallow is some big man, whether this one. It is what the people want, and him when all of them go. And that is why I'm not putting the X on all of them, because they're not raising the issues that affect me. It is time that the 15 soldiers in the NDP resign, and it is time that we get the dictatorship out. I love you very much.
And then that leaves us where? so we get rid of the NDP and we get rid of the ULP, and then we do what? And make it a free for all. Who knows? Probably Travis would step up. Probably there's another party that a young lady what's her name? Shady, you remember that? I know she came forward. I think she did know. Was it a party or she said that she's running independently? And well, the DRP, well, we haven't heard from them, so Let me take one more, and then we go inside with the Rotary Club. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, brother.
Morning, welcome.
Chavez will never put his name on a ballot to run in.
But why?
Because you need independent voices in this country. And this is where I stand this morning. So I listened to the press conference last night, right?
There was a press conference last night?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't aware of it. What was it about?
Well, let's not call it a press conference. The NDP was explaining what they have done so far concerning Southern Grenadines on a live last night. Now, I listened to Dr. Friday and the others of his panel, and what I'm getting is that they had a meeting with Dora Thompson, or Dora James.
Dora James.
Most of you may know her as that. I know her as Thompson. She's married as James.
Married as James, right.
Yes, she's Gerald Thompson's cousin, fourth cousin. Context matter. No. What I get position of the people of Southern Grenadines, and what is the current position of the people of Southern Grenadines? If an election is called today, we expect these people to take a 4-hour boat ride to Union, vote, and then take a 4-hour boat ride back to the mainland. That's the current position of these people. So if you did not bring a motion to Dora James that you need a polling station on the mainland for these people, this is the current situation. Now, I've dug into the voters list. Do you know the percentage of these people who are over 60 who are currently living on the mainland? Do you know how many of them are diabetic?
No, I don't.
Has there ever been a situation in St. Vincent where these people had to make that trip down and up for an election? No. It's always been one way. And they have a few days to recuperate and then go back down or come back up, whichever was the direction. This is something new. And all I'm saying to the NDP, you can't just say, and when I ask these people in the party certain questions, they're telling me, well, if the people want change, they could do it. Come on.
It has to be more than that.
This is a constraint for people to exercise their right, which is freedom to vote for the party they want to represent them in government.
But based on, I mean, you've been on the ground in some parts more than I have. What is the general consensus on the ground, right? What are some of the things that you think would determine the outcome of the general elections? What are some of the things that Vincentians are paying attention to going into the general elections?
Okay.
From your own observation.
You're talking about Vincentians here, or you are talking about Southern Grenadines?
Vincentians across the board.
Brother, I don't want to put my people down. Right?
You must have heard. I'm certain that you would speak to people from time to time. What are they saying? What are they paying attention to?
Brother,
they might not be paying attention to what you're paying attention to, but they are paying attention to something.
Listen, I would say to you that I do not want to put my people down. But how I would answer you, I would say this to you. That our people have been deprived so much over the past 24 years that they are paying attention to the very lesser things. Whether the road into my gateway or the road towards my house is done, things that the government should do out of frustration, not because the people demand it. Our people are not focused on major things and major issues, which is why I am focusing on the things that can turn this election. We are absolutely sure, brother, that Kishore Shallow and Chevron John will win their constituencies.
You're confident where that is concerned?
100%.
And but that's based on what? If you're saying that people are not paying attention to the more serious things, what have you gathered to determine?
That is based on what you have seen coming out of those two constituencies over the past 6 months. It is solely based on that. Right? And it's also based on the passion and strategy of those two candidates. Showing their people what's possible rather than telling them. That has been the strategy of Chevron and Kishore John.
Okay.
And Kishore.
So in other words, what you're saying, Chevron and Kishore has not been lazy, because you would usually make a blanket statement that they're lazy.
Brother,
I'm just seeking clarity.
Brother, Chevron and Kishore has been anything but lazy.
All right. Okay.
No,
wait. No. What I'm saying. We're gonna have to stick up in there, right? Because we have the Rotary. But I'd love for you to call back when we finish. We have the Rotary Club coming in for an interview. All right.
Let me say this quickly. I will urge the opposition that one of the most important things they should have taken to do, James, is to get a polling station on the mainland for the persons.
Yeah.
You can't tell people ride a boat for 4 hours down and 4 hours back up. That's madness. And I'm out.
All right. Okay. Thank you for calling. We're gonna stick a pin right there. We definitely will be back in a shorty shot. We pay a few bills. When we come back, we got the Rotary Club on the inside with us. We got the Glow Run that's coming up on Saturday, June 14th. Make sure you're part of it, and we're gonna give you all the reasons why you should be part of it. All right, when we come back, keep it locked inside Boom 106.9 on a Thursday morning.
It doesn't matter your race,
age,
sex.
Boom 106.9, the sound setter of radio.
Ain't got no one that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we're telling now. Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 106.9.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 106.9.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
Lighting up SVG on Boom 106.9.
Good morning to those of you if you're just joining us on the live stream. I see things booming right now already. Hey, good morning, welcome. So we're joined by, let me see, Miss Donette Constance. That's the president of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We got Kian Constance, fitness coach, as well as Miss Nicole France, and they're all on the inside with us this morning representing the Rotary Club, and we're gonna be talking about the Rotary Glow Run that's coming up soon. Let me see, less than a month away, actually just about 1 month away from today, June 14th to be exact. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. morning. Who's gonna start? Well, I mean, you can introduce yourselves firstly, and then we jump inside.
Well, I am
Okay, hold on. Wait, what? Shady, I'm not getting. Go ahead.
Testing.
Okay, yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Good morning again. My name is Donette Constance, and I am the president of the Rotary Club of St. Vincent. And with me is.
And I'm Keon Constance. I'm Island-wide fitness coach. Yeah.
Everybody knows Keon. Everybody knows Keon. And we have
Good morning.
Miss France.
My name is Nicole France, and I'm the Chief Nutritionist in the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and the Environment.
Okay. Health and wellness and fitness. They all go hand in hand, though. All right. So welcome to Boom, the Rotary Glow Run. Let's talk about that for a little bit. What is it all about? I mean, we will go into the activity, but what is it all about? Let's begin there.
Okay, first thing, it is an obesity prevention event.
Obesity prevention.
Exactly. What
right.
it mean obesity prevention, and how we're going to actually try to prevent obesity there? Well, first thing, the Glow Run is a run, walk, jog, even a dance. You can dance at this event here. We're going to start off with a health fair.
Right.
Now, at this health fair, we're going to be really educating persons. How do you gain weight? Make sure we understand how weight gain happens. Then, of course, we're going to be able to educate them on how we prevent it and how we lose that weight in the health fair. So this health fair is going to take part for about 4 p.m. until about 6 p.m. in that afternoon. Then afterwards.
Okay, so there's a sensitization and educational part of it, and then there's the fun part of it. Fun while learning. I like it.
Exactly.
Nice. Right.
Then we're going to really start off at 6 p.m. in that afternoon. We started off at a cruise ship berth terminal.
Right.
Then the music's going to be pumping and everyone's going to get ready. Everyone just had their workout, the warm-up session there at cruise ship berth terminal. We're then going to hit the road. Cruise ship berth terminal. We're going to hit on Bay Street all the way down until we reach the police station. Then we're going to be exercising in the street. So you're thinking about carnival, right?
Right, yeah.
But this time, this is a healthier version of carnival. This is a healthier version because we're exercising. There's no alcohol or anything there. It's dancing, running, jogging in the street with a big truck in the front. Yo, this is going to be awesome. Then once we get to the police station, we're going to head up to Jack's, then onto Halifax Street. We're going to make our way out of Kingstown.
Right, okay.
So we're passing Republic Bank, we're passing the Ministry of Health, we're passing all there. We're going to make our way up to Town Hill. Now, this is going to be the first challenge. Imagine you're
up to
Town Hill. Right? Town Hill is not a flat hill. It is a steep hill
it's
right
a hill.
there. It is a hill.
And
So
we're not talking Barbados Hills.
Exactly.
We're talking
Vinci Hill.
Right.
So you're behind a big truck right there. You're dancing behind a big truck. You're running behind a big truck. You're speed walking behind that big truck with music just pumping in the air. Oh, you're just getting energized. I'm really energized right now.
I could tell.
Okay. So therefore, we're going up Town Hill. And from Town Hill, we're going to make our way around to Longwall. Good. At different points in that road, we're going to make sure we stop in that road. And the reason why we're going to be stopping, because we're going to have a 5 minutes workout session.
Right. I can see it. I can see it.
So everyone can actually say, hey, exercising can actually be fun. Exercising is actually nice. It's not just have to be strenuous all the time. You can actually have fun exercising. And that's the reason why we're doing this Glow Run here.
Right.
We want to show the entire island that exercising is amazing.
It is. Now I know that it will. There's no age limit. There's no age no constraints when it comes to the age. Now, but seeing that I have you here, I think it would be important for us to highlight a few important things. Like, for example, you made mention of weight gain. Maybe we can start with the kids. What are some of the leading causes of weight gain among children?
All right,
and I guess Miss France would help us out there.
I will try.
And how we'll fix it.
Right. So, thank you, Kian.
Thank you, Kian.
Lack of physical activity. That's number one.
Right.
Our children don't play. They don't take part in. They're not active anymore.
These days, the video games, and the TV
tablets,
and the internet.
Exactly. So they're not active anymore. That's number one. Number two, we have diet. What we see the children eating these days is a lot of fast foods, junk food, things that are easy to pick up off the shelf and just instead of cooking wholesome meals. So that's what the children gravitate to: salty stuff, fatty foods, sweet foods.
But part of it would be to the reality is some people, they eat what they can afford. There's that as well. So how do we address that?
That is true. But my thing is always, the money that we spend on the junk, if we save it, it can buy one or two of the healthy.
Right.
So I don't like to hear it. I don't buy that excuse. They say vegetables are expensive. Frozen vegetables are not expensive sometimes. If they go on sale, you store them in your freezer. They're not going to spoil. True, the fresh ones may be more expensive, but the frozen ones are just as good. So if you cannot afford to buy the fresh, you get the frozen, and they're there. But the things are the culture. We don't introduce our children to the right foods at the right time.
At the right time.
It's when they get older, when they're setting their weight, we try to shove the healthy foods.
Right.
And which child is going to do that?
What time is the right time?
From the time they're 6 months of age. So once you start to wean them from the breastfeeding, you introduce the peas, the pumpkin, the carrots, all the things that we don't think children would like. We start to introduce it to them. The ground provision, master ground provisions, put the cheese, your milk in it, introduce it to them at that age. Don't wait until they're 7, 8, 9. They're not going to eat it. You can tell them, sit there until you eat every vegetable. Not eating it.
Obesity, would you, from your own experience, would you say that it is of great concern here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
It is. It's a quiet pandemic, I would say. It's growing, and it's almost as if to say, we accept it. We are accepting it. I can blame the men too. I can start with the adults. I can blame the men. Men will say they like you're right.
Yeah. but in all defense, is it to say that there's the thickness, there's sometimes that comes with the protrusion at the back, and that don't necessarily mean that you're obese. So I mean, in defense, in our defense, I'm just saying.
I got you.
I'm just saying. So,
but it should not transcend to the children.
Right. I agree.
It's not right for a 7-year-old to be weighing 200 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's not right for a 6-year-old to be weighing 115 pounds. That's not right.
No.
That's not right. Here in St. Vincent, and we don't realize that.
So, I mean, a whole lot of risk involved right there.
Exactly. So
what do we do?
Children up for failure in terms of their health. We're setting them up for failure.
Yeah, and I mean, not only fail, but I mean a short lifespan, because I can.
Very short lifespan. And then the government has to be spending more money. The children not in school. The learning is affected. Money has to be spent to get medication to look after these children.
Health is at great risk.
Exactly.
But then what do we do? I mean, who is to?
Parents.
It's all hands on deck.
Parents.
All hands on deck.
Parents.
Right. It begins with the parents.
With the parents.
And the teachers would have to play a role.
The teachers, because that's the children spend
the
most
folks
of
at
the time.
church would have to play a role.
Exactly.
The vendors outside the school. But you know, in terms of policy, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I heard Jamaica implementing a narrative where they're gonna start having dialogues with the vendors, even the vendors that show up at the school compounds.
A lot of islands have actually started to ban certain things being sold in and around the school.
But I mean, we import them, so we gotta start there as well.
So trade is involved also. So it's not just a one-man thing.
No, it cannot be.
It's the entire country that has to come together.
It cannot be. Right. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm loving this. So we have the kids, we have the parents, the role of the parents. Well, we addressed that. Now I guess we can go now to the glow run. I guess we can take it there. The glow run. We haven't heard from Mrs. Constance here. Give us some of the mic. Let me rephrase that. Let us share the mic.
Yeah, let us share the
Let
mic.
us share the mic. Okay. So the glow run, is it the first? No, it's not the first year.
It is the first glow run for the
Rotary Club.
of
Okay,
St.
right,
Vincent.
right. I know Kian has been involved in several.
Involved in it. Kian is not a Rotarian, right? So
so now he's bringing everything, all the baggage. He's
baggage.
bringing all the baggage, Kian. Right.
Baggage too, but good baggage.
Good baggage.
Meaning that to help us fight, join forces with Alan White Fitness, the brand, of course, and his expertise to ensure that we send the right message to our youths, right? And we really want to focus on our youths. We want to focus on the preventative measures that we can take as adults. I'm a parent myself, and it's important that our children eat healthy, right? If we train them to eat healthy and to have a healthy lifestyle, then of course it's going to prevent the obesity in the long run, right? But Rotary Club is really, as you know, number of years. We have been chartered since August 1971. Yes, and we have been doing several projects in our communities, right? To name it, I mean, Beryl just passed, and we were in Southern Grenadines. We had 4 different Rotary Village doctors where we provided medical service to the residents of Union Island and Canawan. We also brought care packages for them, clothes. We had a pharmacy on board, to provide medication to the residents of Canawan and Union Island. And that is just one of the projects that we are very much involved in. I mean, people do not know, but we also give out wheelchairs, right, to persons who are not mobile, right? The School of Children with Special Needs, we have been working along with them. We're in the process. We just finished doing some renovations and we're about to outfit their playground, right? So all that is part of creating and providing an impact in the community in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So this Glow Run and this initiative with preventative measures, right, of obesity this is our next project to show the community we do not just care about, fixing a roof, but we also care about your health. Right, so hence the reason
overall
why
benefits.
Everybody needs to be touched.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
so this is the opportunity for us to touch the lives of the youths and to touch the lives of persons who have certain chronic illnesses that is a trigger from not eating healthy or having a healthy lifestyle. So we are hyped. We excited to have this program, right? I mean, hopefully it will be an annual program, right? But our district, of course, that is one of the focus. Rotary's focus has to do with diseases and preventative measures, right? That falls under this focus, having the Glow Run, and having the education aspect of it, going into the schools, doing virtual online sessions with them, with parents and the students, So you have a nutritionist who will be speaking about the content, as Keon says. We'll be also doing that online, right? And we'll be going to the schools, of course. But we cannot do this without the support of the general public.
So we need the support of the general public.
Yes,
okay, so what can we do to support?
We need the companies to sign up for the walk.
So we need the companies get with the managers, the owners, the supervisors. Don't stick with it.
Do not
get cracking.
We need you to sign up for the walk. We are non-profit, so we also need the support of our corporate community.
Well, of course,
so we are reaching out to our corporate community, to support us in this venture, because we cannot do it alone. And I believe each person, each partner, all the Rotarians, nutritionists, we can create a difference, make a difference in our community. We need to protect. Now, remember, your health is your wealth, right? And the more healthy we are, the longer we live. So
you were gonna say the more healthier we are, the more wealthier we are.
Well, remember, if you can't live, you can't be wealthy. So you have to be able to be healthy, for you to live longer, to enjoy your riches.
Wealth.
Okay.
Yes,
there we go.
I get it. Okay, so the Glow Run, Saturday, June 14th. All right, Kian, come back to the microphone. Let's go again. All right, so you mentioned all that's gonna be happening. The ages, so it's open to everybody.
It's open to anybody. Right. The thing is, what we realize that the younger you are, we try to invite more younger persons to come. So it's all about childhood obesity prevention here. So therefore, we really want those kids to come out as well.
Yeah.
Parents,
the big ones especially,
be there. But the big, exactly.
Bring them. The overweight ones. And we don't mean that in any derogatory way. The overweight ones especially, bring them.
So anyone can come, but we really want the bigger ones to come as well, mainly the bigger ones. So I'm just going to get back to where we are and what the route is going to be. All right, so you've done this before. All right, so we started off at the cruise ship berth terminal. As I mentioned, we're heading all the way down to the police station. From police station, we're making our way out of Kingstown through Town Hill, and from Town Hill,
come up by Jack's, come up the road.
Exactly.
Right, all the way up. I'm not familiar with the streets, don't mind me.
Okay.
Come all the way up the road, we turn by Juicy's, we make a left by Juicy's,
exactly.
And then we go up to Town Hill.
Town Hill passing News.
Right.
So once we're there, Town Hill, we're making way up Town Hill. We're going through Long Wall now.
Right. Okay.
So good. We're looking over the cruise ship berth terminal there. We're looking at the lights, and while we're looking at the lights, we're there enjoying ourselves, dancing and exercising,
taking photos, video recording, streaming live.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Okay, good. from Longwall now, we're coming through King Garden. We're passing where Fly lives there and everything.
Right.
Stopping in the street, exercising. Hey, King Garden, this is what you do to keep healthy. We exercise, we dance, we move, we keep on
the
moving.
adrenaline pumping up inside it. Yeah.
So good. To King Garden. We're making away from King Garden onto Sign Hill. On the main road, Sign Hill.
So keeping on the main. We're not going down. That would be Sign Hill Bay area. We're keeping it straight.
We're keeping it straight.
Back out to Sign Hill.
Sign Hill
Intersection.
Good. Yes.
Right.
So once we get to the intersection, now the road's bigger. We got more space
more
now.
More
persons are seeing you keeping healthy, and this is what we really want. So from Sign Hill, we're taking it to the tarmac. We're going on to the tarmac.
I was in my mind thinking, maybe it's the tiredness kicking in there already.
No. We ain't finished.
I was thinking that we're going back down here now. So we're going tarmac then. We're going tarmac. Jesus, please. Try and keep up. Right.
Top of the tarmac. Where Ace is. Now we got big open space right there. So what we're going to do?
Free up.
We're going to free up. We got more space to exercise. We got more space to jam. Okay? From the top of the tarmac, we're gonna make it all the way down to the bottom of the tarmac. Yes, this is a 10K. It's not a 5K. Not a 3K.
Mentally, I'm tired already.
Oh my gosh, mentally you're tired, but you gotta think about it. When you guys have carnival, when we have carnival, carnival from morning to evening. Why can't we be exercising?
I agree.
For 2 hours. 2 hours. Because we do it. Carnival's coming up.
2 hours.
It's just
2 hours.
It's just 2
Sounds
hours.
way more. I reach 4 hours. I don't know. That's just me. All right.
Think about it. The truck's there. The music's pumping again. We keep adrenaline's going right now. So from the top of the tarmac, we're gonna make it all the way down to the bottom of the tarmac. We're gonna be running. We're gonna be jogging, and again, we're gonna be dancing the entire night. With the glow sticks just shining. It is dark night. Tarmac's dark, so all this lights, this neon lights, just shining. You gotta feel the feeling. Okay, so we get down to the bottom of the tarmac. We're gonna turn around, make a U-turn, all the way back up. Yes, all the way back up.
Give me a breather. I need a breather.
Catch your breath.
I need a breather.
Catch your breath, man.
All right.
Catch your breath. Because we ain't done there.
So there's
still
more.
got much more to go. This is gonna be an amazing night, I'm telling you. So
I'm tempted to ask Miss Constance, how do you keep up?
Now the whole of St. Vincent is going to be keeping up at the end of this. We want to see over 1,000 persons get fit
Yeah. That's the mission. I love it.
We're still in Honnesville now. So
still in Honnesville.
We're going to make it all the way back to Kingstown. But this time we're using the main road. Right. We're using the main road all the way back. So you pass in Sign Hill, went through
Richmond
Sally
Hill Gardens area.
Richmond Hill, coming down on the main road all the way back onto the tarmac, onto the cruise ship terminal again.
Right.
Now,
okay.
We're not finished, right?
No, we're not.
This, you got
to warm down.
Losing weight is just not a 1, 2, 3. It's a consistency. You must be consistent. Whether you're doing a 5 minutes of consistent workout each day or 10 minutes or even want to do an hour each day, you must be consistent. So if this glow run is the first time you are getting up and moving, I want you to be consistent.
Right. Okay.
So therefore, we have multiple different trainers who are going to be part here. It's not just myself.
Okay.
We got different fitness clubs who are going to be part of this event here. So therefore, they're going to introduce themselves at the end as well and during the run. You can either join up with them or start with them, or anyone can actually start getting active after this event, starting off at this event and after this event.
But I'm certain that Miss France, that dietary plans will be offered, would be made available as well.
So at the beginning of the health fair, there we're going to have persons speaking on dietary options,
whether on the spot or maybe even follow-ups. Right?
No problem, yes.
Good stuff. Now, packages. I'm certain that packages would be available, right? Let us talk about the packages, what's included, where you can get your packages, the price.
All right, so this is how it works. Okay, so when you sign up for the Glow Run, okay, you're going to get a t-shirt. And this year, we're not going with white t-shirts, black t-shirts. We're going with neon colors. I really want to...
You had to stand out.
You want to stand out.
You had to make an impression.
Good.
All right.
So the neon green t-shirts, and of course, and you need to, when you come, you need to walk with your money, your purse, your phones, etc. So therefore, we're not doing backpack or anything like that. We're doing our fanny packs as well.
Right.
So you're running with that fanny pack on your waist. Right, so you're getting your t-shirt and you're getting your fanny packs, and of course you're gonna get all those glow sticks, glow glasses, glow neon. It's gonna be glowing.
This is gonna be ignited.
All right, so
I could see it now. Right.
Okay, so how much does it cost? If you are a single person, it's $60 EC.
60.
Right? Now, but usually when you come to these events here, you don't come by yourself.
Yeah, you sign up the group packages. Right. Yeah.
It's between. If you're between 5 to 9 persons, okay, we're gonna give you $10 off of that package. So it's gonna be $50 per person if you are a small group of 5 to 10. Right now, if you're 5 to 9, sorry. Now, if you are 10 on over,
right.
now you know what? Man, take $20 off. It's just gonna be $40.
Nice. So the bigger the group,
the less
greater the
it's
discount.
gonna be for you. Exactly.
All right. Okay.
All right. So therefore, that's where we really want you to ask your coworkers. Let's get fit. Ask your kids. Let's get fit. Ask your church members.
Bring out the entire family, the entire church, the school teachers, bring the class.
We want everyone to get fit together. All right. And of course, once you're there, you're gonna have waters on the road. We're gonna have different water stops on the road. So, as you mentioned,
take a breather.
Yes. We're gonna get water on the road just for you to keep hydrated as well. All right.
Yeah.
Just to add with the packages, it will be ready like the first week in June, right? And we have several locations where you can register. We have Courts, we have Bonedi 2, we have Isorus Beachmount, we also have Fitness Lab, right? We have the Health Bar SVG, and we have Smooth Juice Bar.
Okay.
So
the signing up, do you pay when signing up? You sign up and pay after? How does it work?
All right. So there are several options, right? If an individual person or a group of 5 persons do register online, right? We get that immediately. We immediately contact that person.
So you share that information?
We share that information, right? They will contact us and we'll tell them what to do. You can transfer. We have the project account there for you to transfer the funds, right? We will have accountability for everyone who registered and who paid, right? When you come you can register. When you come to collect your packages as well, then you pay, right? So we'll give you your receipts and all that. So full accountability, ensure that we cover everybody, right? What's important, we need persons to start signing up now. Register now.
Go ahead and do so now. But like for persons who want to sign up online, give us that information, the telephone numbers that they can call, give us that information.
They can visit our Facebook pages and Instagram, right? And everything is there. I will send you the link as well, right? So you can put it on because I see you're blasting the event. I thank you for that and appreciate that.
We get on board with these things, you know.
Right. So we are grateful for that, right? And you can just contact. There's a number on the flyer as well. 2 numbers on the flyer. You can contact us, and we will guide you through the registration process. Because I know not everybody love that online kind of thing.
5320710 or 4941408.
Correct.
Those are the numbers.
Yeah. And we cognizant that not everybody like to do the online thing. Hence the reason why we have so many outlets.
Right.
So you can walk in and register and you can make your payments. We give you a receipt. And when time's for distribution, we will inform the general public and you come out and get your packages.
Lovely. All right. Anything before we wrap up that of course, we would want to hear from you, Kian. Miss France, we would want to hear from you as well.
All right. So once again, remember, it is June 14th, okay? Starting off at 4 p.m. We're starting for 2 hours to have a health fair. And after the health fair is over, 6 p.m., we're starting the Glow Run. All right, so therefore, everyone, I want the kids, I want the adults, I want the schools to come out. All right, I want the churches to come out. I want the community to come out. And it's about one thing. It's about prevention. How do we prevent obesity in our life? How do we help persons to prevent obesity in our life, in our community? It's about prevention right now.
Okay. All right. Miss France. Okay.
So, as I have to thank Keon. I really have to thank Keon. Health is a shared responsibility, as I said before. It depends on me, depends on you, Keon, Rotary. All of us have to play our part in living healthy. So what I want to see are the schools bringing the children out. I mean, we can make an effort to bring the children. We can take them on field trip. Make this be a field trip.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what the Ministry of Education would say to this. I'd probably
certain arrangements can be put in place.
But no, why not make this a school event? Bring the children out, let them see that exercise can be fun.
Definitely.
Let the teachers also see that exercising can be fun.
Definitely.
It's not a drag. It's not trying to punish you. It should be fun. So let them get active. Let them understand the importance of staying active. We will do our part about the eating right part, but they have to understand with physical activity comes together with the eating. All right, to make us all healthy.
All right. Thank you. That's dietitian, registered dietitian, Miss Nicole France. We also heard from President of the Rotary Club, Donette Constance. You any final words? Maybe take a quick minute.
Final words, register now.
No, register now. That's Donette Constance and of course Kian Constance, fitness coach here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Rotary Glow Run is coming up Saturday, June 12th. Be part of it. Go register now. All right. Saturday, June 14th. Saturday, June 14th. Good. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for dropping by as well. And we're gonna head straight to Council. Has been backstage for a little bit. Council, good morning.
Plain talk.
Have you back in a few minutes. My humblest apologies. Welcome.
Plain talk. Plain talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All you talk now.
On OMG.
Council, good morning. Welcome. Hello. I'm not hearing.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Oh, morning. Okay, right. Welcome. My humblest apologies.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Fuji, I want to talk about a development that has occurred this week that I think is really, really important. I mean, many of you who listen to me would have heard me said. Many of you who listen to me must have heard me say time and time again that St. Vincent is an intellectual wasteland. And when I say that, I mean that there's very little discourse, serious issue-based, policy-based, solution-oriented discussion that take place in our country. But this week, we saw a virtual explosion, emergence of a fertile oasis in what I have described as this intellectual desert. I don't know if you were paying attention, and I don't know if our audience have been paying attention, but if they have not, I want to point you to something. You know, elections are looming, and the issue of citizenship by investment has become prominent. And we know that the opposition, the Democratic Party, has been heralding this program for the longest while. They think it could offer an economic boost to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We can raise, according to their estimates, upwards of $200 million per year, which can help to augment, to give budgetary support, to help in doing certain central tasks like road reconstruction, as I said, budget support, and other areas that are urgently needed of attention. And as a result of that, we had the pushback, the very strong pushback by Prime Minister Gonzalez. And up until now, the government position has essentially been very vulgar. For years, it has been vulgar. And it was intended to dumb down the conversation or to pull on the nationalistic heartstrings of the people. And it is covered in this general thing. we not sell passport. And that got him into some kind of difficulties because we know that all of the other countries in the OECS has the citizenship by investment program. And in doubling down in his attempt to regain the initiative on this question in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to try to wrest it back from the NDP, where he saw a momentum going, he said essentially that citizenship by investment programs are mismanaged and corrupt. And if we're not careful, we are going to run the risk of running into the anger, the ire of the big and powerful American and European authorities. Well, when he said that, Gaston Brown, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, and head of a country that has a vigorous citizenship by investment program, took offense. And he accused Gonzalez of toadying to the powerful forces who have long hindered the development of Caribbean societies and Caribbean people. Gonzalez has now replied by saying that Gaston did not advance the debate, although I think he did, and did forcefully. In fact, he showed Gonzalez's position to be quite reactionary, and he essentially toadying to the Western powers in Europe and in the US. But that has caused a big development among Vincentians. Firstly, we had Dr. Jason Haynes, who in a piece entitled Why We Should Reconsider Our Position on CBI, argued that, look, there are real problems in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we need to do something about that. And part of the reason why we need to do something about that is because CBI can offer. In fact, said St. Vincent should reconsider implementing CBI. And he notes that a well-regulated CBI program could generate millions of dollars to ease the strain and lessen our economic burden. And to add weight, I thought, to his reasoning, he said the economic disenfranchisement we face today is a direct consequence of colonial exploitation, going to the point that Gaston Brown made. He said, yet, instead of supporting our efforts to build an economic resilience, European nations threaten punitive action against innovative development strategies like CBI. And he said, Caribbean nations would not presume to dictate the EU citizenship criteria. And therefore, we should not allow them to dictate to us, particularly where they have literally thrown cold water on our quest for reparatory justice, for the historical injustices that create the very economic vulnerabilities we now face. Well, within hours of Dr. Haynes' piece, my friend and colleague and brother Luke Brown, the ULP academic and parliamentarian, offered a sharp rebuke. And he said, look, we are doing well without CBI. And he posited that we have the second highest economic growth rate in Latin America and the Caribbean without CBI. And he said some of us are behaving as though CBI is the only way to the promised land. I have not seen anybody who said that, but he says that we behave as though CBI is the only way to the promised land. And he says we have been successfully putting in place the national infrastructure for 21st century economy. And he says, he's opposed to CBI for the following reasons. It would offend the principle of citizenship. There are viable alternatives And he said that is borne out by the case in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He says we have existing pathways to citizenship, and that a citizenship by investment program is fraught with risk and challenges. And within a day after he published his piece, Michael Charles, another Vincentian, reasoned that Brown's rhetorical framing deserves scrutiny. His invocation of St. Vincent's relatively strong growth post-pandemic omits key facts, Charles says. And the facts, he says, that are omitted is that this growth was aided by external grant, remittances, and unsustainable debt. He says, Charles, I'm talking about, he says that Brown's argument that St. Vincent does not need CBI then is at best complete and at worst misleading. I quite agree with him. Both incomplete and misleading, I must say. And then he goes on to argue that while Luke's concern that St. Vincent could become a haven for tax dodgers and shadowy businessmen is legitimate, these concerns can be addressed through a robust due diligence and regional cooperation. So now we have two persons, two of our best and brightest, saying yes, robust due diligence, cooperation, regional cooperation, and adopting best practices could help us. And then he describes Brown's moral objection as earnest, but noted that they risk romanticizing a status quo in which citizenship can already be quietly sold without safeguards. Well, that's true, because we know people like Ames came in, got citizenship, and then turned out to be a rogue. The same rogues that the current administration is telling us we should try to avoid. Weiss came in. Maybe we might hear that Weiss didn't have citizenship, but he came in and was doing this thing here before the American authorities came for him. And if my information is correct, he's now serving time in a California jail or in maybe a federal prison in California. And he also, and this is the beauty of Michael Charles's piece, because he tries to do an analysis of both Haynes and Brown and then come up with a synthesis. And in looking at Haynes's view, he says, although Haynes's enthusiasm for CBI is economically rational, his prescription need to be tethered to institutional discipline. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. And then Charles concluded by beseeching Vincentians not to fear discretion, but to be wary of discretion without guidance. Yeah, we can have wide discretion, but you can't have discretion without guidance. And he argues as well for a transparent citizenship policy, properly implemented, and he notes that it will allow the country to assert its sovereignty, enhance its credibility, and honor the genuine link that matters most, a commitment to our people's long-term development. And then finally, bringing up this intellectual discourse for the week, we had a piece from Givara Leacock, who said he welcomed the conversation between Mikhail and Dr. Haynes and Luke Brown, and opened a well-tailored CBI program, which contain, for example, real estate investment options, has and can stimulate construction sector, creating employment opportunities and supporting ancillary industries. The influx of high net worth individuals as new citizens can also stimulate local economies through spending, business creation, and knowledge transfer. And he too argues that a well-crafted CBI program can literally create the value-added economies we often hear about in political rhetoric. He says that we should establish and maintain high standards of governance, transparency, and value proposition in increasing the competitive market. So here we have it, 4 young, bright Vincentians getting in. And what this is to me, Brother Fuji, is an important departure from what we have had for so long. For decades, and certainly since he has been Prime Minister of St. Vincent, the Prime Minister had a virtual strong role on discussions of policy, of programs for development. And on this one, we now see a removal of the conversation of policy and issues away from the narrow political grandstanding of politicians and into the realm of intellectual thought and debate. And I think that's a positive thing. It augurs well for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It means that if this continues, we can have a widening of this fertile oasis that I recognize emerging this week. And I have high praises for it. And when I saw it, I was reminded by V.I. Lenin, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, the leader of the Russian Revolution of 1917. Lenin once said, there are decades when nothing happened, and there are weeks when decades happen. That's what we witnessed this week. Yes, decades when there was a virtual monopoly on what passed the intellectual discourse. And in a single short week, we have had 4 Vincentian intellectuals opining on a matter of fundamental national importance. We can't do better than that. All of us should be proud. And I am so happy and proud that
likewise.
It's Guevara, Mikhail, Luke, and Jason. Thank you so much. That's my thought for this morning.
Thank you, Kongsu. Have a good one.
Until we meet again.
All right, take care. Have a great weekend as well.
Yes, brother.
All right, let's go pay some bills. We got some commercials that we must go to. Then we come back and we chit-chat for a little bit. All right, keep it locked inside Boom 106.9 on a Thursday morning.
OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 106.9.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs? At Metrocint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrocint General Insurance Company. Call us today at 784.
Let's go! Boom 106.9, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no one that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we're telling now.
Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 106.9.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 106.9.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
Paddler's Diapers. Paddlers for comfort, care, and cost. Absorbent, long-lasting diapers for babies and adults. I will only give my loved ones the best. Paddlers are available at Lanes and selected distributors. Lanes, the family store for value.
Meets the road.
Get your Mile King tires 250 at $1,450 or your Sumato tires at $265.50.
Let's go! Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no money back calling me splurge. Watch me jump right off the curb.
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we're telling now.
Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 1069.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
For that.
Paddler's Diapers. Paddlers for comfort, care, and cost. Absorbent, long-lasting diapers for babies and adults. I will only give my loved ones the best. Paddlers are available at Lanes and selected distributors. Lanes, the family store for value.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I embark on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride. Not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips, beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with Throwback. I love it! On 106.9.
Them have the people who are suffer. Two and them have like garbage in a gutter. Two and them sit down in the office and a hotter. They still and enjoy bread and can't buy butter. Two and no we not see no day pay. Two and them are sitting in the kitchen and play. Two and use them out the street of play. Can't see no food nor no money. When me say this a one of them for people songs to turn it through. Turn up the music and tell me how them a go band this a one to turn it through. Oh, people can't find food to eat to turn it through. Turn up the music. Like follow the street and turn it through. We jump out of school then, yeah. No work, no day. Belly empty. Can't see a 10 or a 20. Mama don't have no food in the kitchen. Can't buy rice when no talk about chicken. Seems like the backyard stop no pumpkin. Can't find flour figure make fried dumpling. No one cares the hungry cry. No one shares with them piece of pie. No one cares when poor people die. And no one dares the man's hard lie. Tell them say this is one of them. So turn it to
18 minutes inside 8 o'clock. We don't have a lot of time. We got 12 minutes before Brother Weeks comes inside with us. It's a simple question. What areas of concerns would you be paying attention to in the upcoming general election? What would you be using to determine how you vote? You have the experience. You've been hearing all that's being thrown out. What would you be using to determine how you vote in the upcoming general elections? I ask you who you're voting for. That's your choice. Hit me up and you let me know. I have a few that came inside earlier. I'll share those. But we have like 10 minutes. 451 1069. Call me. That's on the direct line. If you want to join via the WhatsApp, you could hit us up. You could send your messages via WhatsApp as well. 455 1069. Help me. Some people say that they're paying. Okay, let me take this one quickly. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Shady.
Morning.
What's up, what up?
Jeez. Kenson.
Good morning, sir.
I would have been calling you whether or not today. But you see that I am here. And I would be here tomorrow again by the grace of God. So you know what? So you know what that means, right? Right. Okay, good. Alright, good. To me. What would you be using to determine how you vote in the upcoming general elections, Kenson?
First, the economy. The economy.
What wrong? People could tell you nothing wrong with the economy. The economy booming, brethren. There's growth. We're the second fastest growing.
Well, here's something now. There's growth. We're the second fastest growing. But they're leaving out the most important part.
Which is what? Talk to me.
With that growth comes a little thing called a hook in our gill. And we know that any fish that gets a hook in the gill is guaranteed death.
I tell you last week there is hook, line and sinker right now. Wait, and last year? No, it was last year. About 2 years ago, I think it was $577 million. Where is that now? Anything added? Is it down from that amount in relation to Taiwan?
Listen, we have just gone up again by a further 62 million US. That's the Prime Minister is yet to tell us what it's for. Yeah. Out of the 93 million US that he recently went to borrow, 62 is coming from Taiwan, US, 62 million US, and we're waiting to hear what it's for.
Yeah, that went over my head, brethren. That went over my head.
So here's the thing, my brother. Yes, all of them could run up and down with that because this is what the World Bank say, IMF say. But what they're not telling you is that none of that has come from actual natural growth in St. Vincent. None of it. And as Michael Charles stated, what we are seeing is something that comes from grants, loans, basically people sorry for we.
You know, I told our brethren that same thing this morning. I was there getting ready to for work, and I got a notification on Facebook. And it's the same thing I was saying, responding to the brethren and telling him, you know what he told me? The construction industry is booming.
Yes,
and farmers are exporting. Things nice. That was my next question, my brother.
Listen. The construction sector will be booming because when we look at it, and there are two reasons for it to boom. One, capital projects are the easiest way to ship money, misappropriate, steal, whichever one you want to use.
I want to touch on that one of these days, you know. That.
Number two, the most loans you can get are the most grants that come into the country. After capital projects, look at the budget and see where the biggest set of monies go. And so, again, when it comes to the loans and support that we go for, these people forget that we have them to pay back. Yes, and old people used to say, fees today, famine tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because people keep on forgetting that with the growth, yes, there will be artificial growth. It's right there in front of you now. But what at the end of the day is the price for this growth? The price for this growth is the very thing that Ralph Gonsalves and Vince Beach at the time when our national debt was $550 million. When Mitchell say, you know what, we went to an international airport, they borrow. They say, that they went, the debt already $550 million. If you go to an international airport, what's going to happen? And people forget that it was this very international airport conceptualized by Sir James Mitchell that Ralph for them run up and down and whip to win an election. They forget that it's the very international airport, the price of it at the time, which would have been cheaper than now, that they borrowed on. The very foresight of Mitchell for the growth of St. Vincent. But here's something, COG. The economy is one. The other thing for me is the misappropriation of funds.
My body. What you think?
And let me wait, hold on. Plenty of the people on the ground. And that is why that ties into why now people are actually listening about CDI. But we will get to that just now. Listen. The issue, and let me not speak like I'm in the House of Parliament, the thievery of our money. We're not in a parliament, so we're not going to talk about misappropriate. Let me use terms that people understand. The thievery of our money. And you know why I can say boldly that it's thievery? The point remains that they have gone out of their way to hide it. The fact that the director of audit cannot get answers so that he could bring the answers to us, the public, as is outlined in the Constitution, it tells me that you have made a conscious effort to hide the facts, to mislead, which means you're telling me that you're thief. You know, you are conscious of the actions you are taking, so you're thief. So when you have millions coming in here, according to the Constitution, when you borrow a loan, it must, and when the law says must, it means it must happen, it has to happen. It must go into the consolidated fund.
Correct.
So that it could be accounted for. So that every time you make a withdrawal, you must go and sign something to say, come make such and such a withdrawal, so that there's a record. And when you see millions upon millions of loans coming in that have never been recorded, you don't know where they go, you don't know what they have done, and you know the worst part. So tell the people who are talking about growth this, those loans are not being serviced. What does that mean?
Well, we did bad.
When you default on a loan, what does happen?
Well, interest will go up.
Whatever you owe them a come for.
Interest will go up. And that too.
Okay.
You understand
So, so interest goes up, and you know why they have to hide these things, Eugene? Because at the end of the day, what they are actually doing, borrowing to pay. Borrowing to pay, it is coming home to roost.
Yeah. All right.
Because the final thing, the final thing for me is now the actual economic plans going forward. Let me say to people, and I said it on a live I did yesterday morning, do not allow the government and the party of the Unity Labour Party and their mouthpieces to keep you so focused on CBI. That is just one aspect of the plans going forward as to how we can grow the economy. It's there in tandem with other things. Don't let them blind you to that, because when they keep zeroing on CBI, that is why a lot of people will come and tell us, we don't know where MDP plans be.
Yes.
You have Philip Jackson on here yesterday morning outlining such a glorious, excellent plan as to how our economy can go. Big up Philip. Because he has, in a nutshell, put out there what the NDP has in store to do going forward as a government to grow our economy, but not just grow our economy, to make sure that those look down upon, which are our farmers and fishers, they are going to be the pillars building that economy going forward. And the last thing I have to say, and what I was saying initially here, is that don't allow them to muddy the waters with just CBI. You notice how they hold on to CBI? They know it's a last card, but guess what? It's something to keep you focused. So if you allow for muddy the water, it goes because they have no economic plan for the last 25 years. We have sunken in debt, we have more poor people, we have more unemployment, and all they have are temporary fixes of coming 6 months for this, 6 months for that program, 6 months for that other program. No real economic plan. Look at it carefully. Have a good man.
Alright then, my buddy. Alright then, the calls are coming in. The calls are coming in. WhatsApp, even WhatsApp messages are all coming in. Let me take one more quickly. We got Brother Weeks coming inside at 8:30. I need to push up this. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Welcome.
Good morning, Shady. Just briefly, were I to be voting in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because I'm overseas,
right?
It certainly would have been on the economy, as Kenson said.
On the economy.
But let me make two salient points. One, for the life of me, I can't understand why people allow this government to get so far, because let's compare ourselves to the other OECS countries that have the CBI program, for example. The highest debt to GDP ratio below ours, the second highest, is Antigua. They started at 100%. Remember, Prime Minister Gaston Brown said that his government was on the verge of, the country was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
They have lowered that down to 76%, just around 76%. So they're on a right trajectory, because the international sustainability standard for debt to GDP ratio is 60%. So they're heading in the right direction. Right? St. Lucia, who just started their CBI program, they're down to 74%. They're targeting 60% by 2030. Right? We, on the other hand, we're heading upward. We are at 93%. So in essence, the second highest country debt to GDP ratio in the OECS is at least 22 percentage points lower than ours. That is, we are at a point where our economic model is unsustainable. Absolutely unsustainable. So here is the opportunity that we're gonna have in a few short months to correct this misdirection, to correct the direction the country is going on an economic basis, and to provide opportunities for every Vincentian to raise themselves above where they are now, and to diminish as quickly as possible, as extensively as possible, the ballooning levels of poverty in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So for me, it's the economic Okay. It's the economy.
Okay, my buddy. Thank you very
Blessings,
much
buddy.
for sharing. Let me share 3 that came in via WhatsApp before we bring in Brother Weeks. CBI, unemployment, crime, corruption, deplorable state of infrastructure, lowest paying jobs in the Caribbean, victimization, too much to keep aligning the ULP government pockets. Somebody else says healthcare, the rate of crime, unemployment, and cost of living are the things I will be paying attention to going into this general election. Let me share another one quickly, and then we bring in Mr. Weeks. For me personally, it really needs a change in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. SVG has been leaning on one side for too long. I'm working with the government, yes, and I am not doing too bad for myself. So, it's not even about me right now, but there are too many people who are suffering because they are not supporting the government in power. And it's really unfair knowing that they too are Vincentians, they're paying taxes like everyone else, and they're still being treated unfairly. And it pains my heart. We need a government for everyone and not just for half. When I voted the ULP in 2001, the PM said, I heard it from the PM himself, he said it's not about labor now, it's together now. And the very first term, he ate his words and basically decided to damn the country. We'll share some more when we come back. What would be the determining factor for you going into the upcoming general elections? It's 8:31. Brother Weeks is up next.
Time to connect with the most loved man on radio. Sir Lancelot is in the building.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Weeks.
Mr. Vivi.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
I'm well, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Shady, good morning. Listeners, greetings. When I left here on Monday, I indicated I would be speaking on the theme of vulgarism. And if any of you came back just to hear me speak on that theme, I apologize. I defer that for good reason. You know that I am deliberate with what I say and when I say it. So I promise you I'll come back to that theme. Today is the 15th of May. I think it is, yes, 15th. 16th. Yes, today is the 15th of May. And we are practically speaking in the middle of the month of May. And this month is dedicated to two important segments of our community. May is designated a Child Month in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in the wider Caribbean is designated Blindness Awareness Month. I don't know if it is coincident that both segments of our population are chosen to be highlighted during the same period. But there are many similarities that both communities, the community of children and the community of people who live with blindness or low vision, there are many similarities. But today I want to focus on the community that I belong to, the community of people who live with blindness. First of all, I want to point out that blindness is not an absolute. It's really a spectrum, meaning that there's a lower end and there's a upper end, if you can call it that. At one end, there are persons who are absolutely blind. They see nothing other than darkness. On the other end, there are persons who may be declared as legally blind, but can navigate the society with some difficulty. Below those are persons who refer to as simply having low vision, meaning that there's some quote-unquote defect in how they see. But in between those who are declared legally blind and those who are, my term, absolutely blind, is that's a spectrum. There's a variation there in terms of the extent you see. So that is one of the first things that affect people who live with blindness. That most persons, when they hear that you're blind, that they immediately think that you can't see anything. You simply exist in darkness. And most often you're treated as though your world is dark, literally and figuratively. You should be set aside in a corner and be shown a lot of sympathy, etc. But I want to assure you, listeners, that most of us who live with blindness, we do not hope for that. We wish to be as independent as we possibly can. We normally don't look for sympathy. We appreciate your empathy, meaning that at all times when you are to deal with us, you simply put yourself in our position. You imagine what it would have been like for you if you could not see, and how you wanted to be treated. Rather than saying, I'm sorry for you. Because that's a common thing. You're speaking with somebody, whether it's on the phone or even sometimes in person, and you say to the person, well, I can't see anymore, I'm blind. And the first response is, I am sorry. What are you sorry for? I just don't navigate the world the way you do it. I just don't move around the way you're able to move around. But I can still move around using whatever aid I chose to use, whether it's a white cane, as I do, or with the assistance, with the guidance of someone else. I have a significant amount of independence, which I'm grateful for, because I have adapted. I have learned to use the various devices and technologies that are available. And I am still able to do some of the things that I've done throughout my life, including reading and writing. I am not quite as proficient with those skills as I would like to be, especially in the case of writing, because I have not had any real support in rehabilitating myself in that way. I had to, and still I am struggling with it, but I'm getting there. I still write. Those of you who communicate with me through WhatsApp, you know that I write my messages. And that is because I have learned to use the technology. I am using myself because I want to be practical in what I say. But I am aware that there are persons, and maybe the majority of my persons who are not, majority of persons who are living with blindness, they're not fortunate enough to have adapted and rehabilitate themselves as I am able to do. And I empathize with them because, as I say, I understand what it is for persons in that situation and how they wish to have their independence. I can't leave without thanking those persons who have volunteered and who continue to volunteer in terms of supporting. And I'm not talking particularly about material support. I'm talking about those persons who would assist with guiding when I need that. Those persons who understand and what it is to be included and practice inclusion in my situation, as is the case in my situation. I want to thank them and to encourage them to continue to do so and to encourage others to understand that persons who live with disability, I born it now, not just those who live with blindness, but those who live with disability, most times would like to be included. And inclusion is very important. Too often, when we talk about inclusion, we focus on one set of persons. I don't want to go there this morning, but some of you are listening to me understand what I mean. I want to stay with the theme of the month, with the discussion of the month. What should be a heightened set of communication, bringing awareness to some of these issues, and to encourage, as I said, persons to practice empathy rather than sympathy when it comes to persons in my community. Don't always assume that persons need help or persons want help. So when you meet us, you can ask, would you like me to help you? Would you like me to assist you? And I may say, it's okay, I'm all right. And please don't take that as an insult. Or I may say, yes, thank you. But there should be a follow-up question. How can I assist you? How can I help you? And I'm saying all of these things this morning to promote the idea of independence for people who live in the blind community. The issue of inclusion and the emotion of empathy, because this will allow persons who live with blindness to contribute to our society. Fuji, those are my comments for this morning.
Thank you very much, Brother Weeks. Until to this Thursday, until next week, take good care, all right?
Thank you, sir. You too. Have a great weekend.
Stay blessed.
And all the listeners.
All right. That's where we wrap up this part of the morning. Brother Weeks on the inside. That brings an end to his segment for today. 14 minutes away from 9 o'clock. We got some commercials. We pay some bills and we come right back. You let me know what would determine how you vote in the upcoming general elections. Alright? You hit me up and you let me know. We got some more that came in via WhatsApp. I'll share those when we come back inside. But in the meantime, the lines are open. 451-1069 on the direct line or 455-1069 on WhatsApp. You can send us WhatsApp messages as well. Alright? Is it crime? Some are saying the economy. I haven't heard so far, in terms of the callers, I haven't heard anybody going in on crime. Hold on the call, Truth Seeker. When we come back, let's pay the bills and we come back. Alright? Haven't heard anybody mentioning crime as yet. Or crime is a non-issue. People are more concerned about the economy. People are more concerned about money in the pocket. People are more concerned about jobs. Shatmus, morning my brother, welcome. Let's go pay some bills and we come right back.
About St. George's Carnival launch party starting time 8 p.m. Come witness lots of local artists, the DJs, lots of
Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no one that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right out the curve?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody, and we're telling now.
Bend that over, let that breathe, shake that.
Boom 1069. Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
Paddler's Diapers. Paddlers for comfort, care, and cost. Absorbent, long-lasting diapers for babies and adults. I will only give my loved ones the best. Paddlers are available at Lanes and selected distributors. Lanes, the family store for value.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I embark on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride, not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips, beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 1069.
Nice again. We having a party. Lots of girls, plenty food, plenty rum. Just follow me and come. And we not living till it done. World, but when the sheep, girls all leave. We don't have me wife, but me still want cheat and creep and take me. Doing a me cheap and stick out the dance when nobody not peep. Every man and woman, jump and rejoice and up there. Make your hands them rising nice, sweeter than sugar and spice. Listen my voice. Well, the sun could hot like fire. The place black up and rain and the sun could hot like fire. We don't give a damn about weather. Once there is girls and music, James zipping and leaving till it done. Once there is girls and music, this party we will not living all day. The sun goes down and all night till broad daylight. We liming and we them now fight. The atmosphere is right, and the vibes is tight. My girls them looking nice. This is more than para. Whoa, sun good hot like fire. The place knock up and rain. The sun good hot like fire. We don't give a damn about weather. Once there is girls and music, Parry not leaving till it done. Once there is girls and music, yo, Parry no more. Plenty food and plenty rum and lots of girls and plenty fun and leave home the gun. Don't bring no bomb, violence, don't bring that come. Just bring your queen, leave machine, no laser beam, no tree steam, no siren to intervene. Come on, come on.
Alright, Kingston man, we no play with it. Tell them we no play with it. P1 man don't play with it. Tell them we no play with it. Yo man from country don't play with it. Tell them we no play with it. Girl, when they inside the party, tell a DJ no ramp. When Blakey tell she,
no more long time.
No more long time.
How can I do that?
You know what I'm saying?
No more long
I've been thinking about you, baby. Oh, you really drive me crazy, baby. Oh, you really put it on me, free girl. Oh, you find me body and I like you and you're winding in my circle and jumping on me, baby. You're pushing it up further. I wind up on me and you walk up in my circle and work up on me, baby. Keep working me some work. I wind up on it, keep working it, keep working it, keep working. I wind up on it, keep working it, keep working it, keep working. I wind up on it, keep working it, keep working it, keep working. I wind up on it.
Big stick, them girl know what this was. Big stick, them girl want big stick. Them girl know what this was.
It's Throwback Thursday on Boom 1069.
Girl know what this was. Big stick.
Big up Team CDC in Brooklyn, New York City right now, getting ready for the New York launch this coming Saturday. I should have the address. Let me see. Nazareth Regional High School, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11203. All right, so make sure you go and check it out. That's the official launch of Vincy Mas, the New York edition. It's going down this coming Saturday at the Nazareth Regional High School, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York City. Go check it out, yeah? When we come back, we'll share more from your side.
SVG starts with OMG in the morning on the trending station. OMG in the morning, lighting up SVG on Boom 1069.
All girls, breakthrough.
Throwback Thursday.
Yes. Bring the front. Girl, this is carnival. Show your waist. Music sweet and it's bacchanal. Show your waist. Come out just to have fun. Show your waist. It's rough up till the party done. Show your waist. Susie don't tell me how she loves to wine, but she don't want to have up in any band. So she want me to come and wind up on she balcony. So I whining and I grinding on she balcony. I walking and I joking on the balcony. I pushing and I jumping on the balcony. Everything man I doing on the balcony. Cause see me jumping up on the balcony, walking up on the balcony, hanging up on the balcony. Everything man I doing on the balcony. No more on the back is on the balcony. Whining and I grinding on the balcony. You're a man whining on your behind. Show your waist. Cock it back and you start to grind. Show your waist. The rain come and the sun a shine. Show your waist. Come on, you have a good time. Show your waist. Tasha don't tell me how she loves to jump. She don't want to party, ain't no big man. So she want me to come and jump up and she balcony.
Let me see. Ann was saying 47. Okay, so she corrected it. 475 East 57th Street. Street. 475 East 57th Street. Alright? Let's go back on the inside. 4511069 or 4551069 for those of you who wanna call or share via WhatsApp. I have a few in already. I'll share those. You get the alright, somebody calling. Let me pull this one. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Fuji.
Morning. Welcome.
Bless up yourself, brother. Brother, here we go now. When I'm voting for everything. The economy,
right?
Crime, health.
Talk to me.
Because here we go now. I'm a dead labor man, you know.
Right.
But things have to change, brother. Let me just show you an example. People keep beating up.
Okay, right. Go ahead. No, I was just about to ask when I say things had to change, what you mean? But go ahead.
No, here we go now. Because I was going on in the country. But my thing is, people keep beating up LDP about this and that. But overall, it's the people who don't want to change, brother. It's the people who don't want to change. Because I'm talking to a guy, and the guy telling me he being victimized because of the vaccine mandate, right? And then, so me say now, so where am I now? So now you can vote for change. He said no. He going back with Labour because he don't like the person that is running in the constituency for Labour for NDP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the people. It's the people,
You see the mindset
it's
of our people different.
It's not about beating up NDP. NDP have a thing they call it 4 pillars. I want the people to sit down and read. Read when I'm have to say.
My brother, up to this morning, a brethren, one of the mouthpieces for the ULP told me that he don't know, he never heard anything about it. He's not aware of it.
Man, listen, me again, like he's a dead labor man. Me go up in a family with bare labor people. You know what I'm saying? So it need a change, brother. It too long in that.
All right, then, my buddy. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing right there. He said it, not me. He said it. Hit us up and let us know what would be the determining factor for you going into the general elections. Do you have crime as a priority? Do you have health care? Some people have been calling for better health care, affordable health care, at least access to basic health care. I mean, one might argue that some of the things that we get, that we pay next to nothing for in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, if you don't have insurance, in some countries you don't have access to these things. But that's one side of it. Somebody else is on the line. Good morning. Welcome.
Fugitive, morning.
Morning, welcome.
It's always good to have you as a backup for the big bad man, boy.
I am the replacement killer, my brother. The replacement killer.
Proper replacement, man.
Yeah,
proper
so you have the radio Badman and you have the replacement killer.
One bad man to another one.
Come on, man. We don't ramp with it, you know. Talk to me. What friend, would help you to make up your mind to vote?
Me? My mind not make up a long time, especially with this crime we have in this country.
So crime is an issue for you?
Crime is a big issue for me because I have my kids and my grandkids, and I want my children to be able to walk free in this country without fear. Now, just last night, I think they had another killing in Glen.
Well, I heard that there was a chopping up.
A chopping up. Exactly.
So it's fatal. Exactly. I haven't had an update on it, but
I think that's what I got. The news that I got this morning.
You think? You got the news? Which one?
I got the news this morning.
Okay, so we'll try to confirm. We'll try to confirm that before we put it out officially.
Right. But you know, fugitive, I have to be, you know, on my checks and balance because my kids, I have children that live in Glen, and I have to be very much concerned where they're having these crimes and how things are going.
But what has the response been like? What has the response been like in as it relates to crime, especially in areas like Glen? What has there been an improvement in police presence, for example?
Man, no, I would not say that. I would not say there's been an improvement at all.
What would you say?
I would say, you know, let me give you this. You remember the last time you had a shooting in Guyman with a youngster from Glen? Right. That youngster, everybody know him. That was one of the biggest turnout for a funeral in Glen. That youngster is a youngster. He likes to smoke a little thing, he drink, but when you look at the guy, he would entertain you anywhere you go. He's a guy that everybody loves, a favorite within the area.
Right.
Never get himself in trouble or whatever. Right. Everybody know him for that. They call him Shines.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this guy got shot. He got shot. Unfortunately, he was not to be there. He got shot. The guy who did that shooting was walking up and down around the place. I got to understand, which we all heard, there was a shooting in town not too far from the girls' high school, broad daylight. Apparently, the same guy who shot that youngster Shines got shot, and they apprehended the two persons who was involved in that shooting. Right? The police got ratings for that. They got ratings for that. Yes. But you know, when I really check it out, fugitive, when I check it out, these guys that they apprehended who went back and shoot that guy, they are not right to do that because it was in the public. But I would hope that that thing go to the court and the court will look at the youngsters who they got pulled up in that shooting, and there would be some charge on these guys, but they should not be held as murderers because the guy didn't dead, you know.
But let me leave that for the police deal with it now.
Okay,
let me don't bring down the radio. Yeah, leave that. But your concern is crime. Right. So crime is.
My concern is crime.
Right. All right then. Good.
Rampant in this country that we need to get a hold because.
Yeah, but people can tell you crime they all over, brethren. Crime they all over. So what wrong with St. Vincent? Why's a little crime?
Yeah, but let me look at it. It is all over St. Vincent. Where there is a youngster or anybody losing a loved one, it's affect me because I am a parent.
I hear you. All right,
I know the pain that parents go
through. Okay.
So hear this before I go. Hear this before
quickly. More calls coming in.
Because we need a change because we have one man who is directing the traffic, and there's no other safe from here.
I see other traffic officers. Women, one man directing the traffic.
One man has all the say. He makes all the decisions.
Oh, like that? I mean, talk straight now, man. You know, the hide behind
the
talk.
All the decisions.
Right.
Our prime minister makes all the decisions. He listens to no one. He listens to no one to hear what they have to say to them because the people who he has among him cannot talk to him. He does not listen to them. So why would we want to continue this?
I think he listens. He listens, and I will tell you why. Well, in a while, I will tell you why. All right? Okay.
Have a good day, man.
All right, bless up. Let's take a few more, one or two more. Good morning. Who's on line number one? We missed that one. Let me try number two then. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. What?
Hello? Sappy speaking, Sappy.
You're real loud.
Okay, no. All right, you know?
Yeah, much better.
Now listen to me. My concern, right, is roads.
Road? Who does vote on road, Sappy? What do you mean road? What wrong with the roads? What wrong with the roads? People, road work going all over right now, brethren. All over again, roads built.
Yeah, I live in Central Kingston. I'm past nearly 15 years now. From the gun shops, from Blackhead, from Green Hill, from Kingston Park.
I could tell you about Kingston Park. I told
him enough man yesterday with a lady making baby.
Jeez.
Let's see something go.
Don't tell me she went into labor on board the van, you know.
It's because major.
Jeez.
Family did that. Come sharp, man. Really, let's see something go.
Alright, so roads, you voting for roads?
Central Kingston need a road fixing.
Alright, yeah. Alright then, my buddy. Alright. Yeah, but alright then. Okay. So Sappy say he voting for roads in Central Kingston. That ain't no joke, eh? Listen. Well, for better roads, cause they don't have roads in Central Kingston. They don't have roads. Listen, whether Kingston Park, you could close your eye. Whether Kingston Park, Lago Height, Block 2000, Shops, Green Hill, you could close your eyes. You could bet your last dollar you're going to meet bad roads in Central Kingston. Good morning. We missed that one, no problem. We got more coming inside. Good morning. Who's there?
Fuji!
Morning, my brother. Morning.
How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Now I just say stirring up some trouble. Now, Shady, step out for a little bit.
Okay.
What would you be using to determine how you vote this coming general election? What are your main concerns?
Healthcare.
What wrong with
crime?
What wrong with crime? The police out every day.
The economy. And the victimization that we people facing.
People get jobs.
Victimization that we people facing. Right? Imagine going to the hospital, Fuji, with somebody 80 odd years old.
Right.
Yeah, and you have to go and buy everything. You have to bring your own pill. You have to bring your own sheet virtually.
Yeah, man, that's just people trying to make the thing look bad. What do you mean you have to go buy
right. Yeah, right.
You have to go buy sheet.
Right.
Sheet, you say, no? Sheet? So I'm to all the sheets and things. Listen, the Consul General in Canada would usually send down a lot of stuff, especially for the hospital. So I mean they can't get sheets down in the hospital.
Leave them out.
So you see, therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem, my brother.
Fuji, let me tell you something. I think we have become so polarized there.
Right.
In 1998 around there when Cato and them when they moved from Cato to Mitchell, right? I voted for Mitchell for NDP.
Right.
Because I figured at that time when I saw what was going on, I figured we needed a change. When Mitchell spent his 17 years there, and things had started to come, just as it has become now.
Right.
With the corruption and all that, I, as an individual, decided that this is a time for a change.
Give somebody else a chance.
Give somebody a chance.
Yeah.
But from 2 terms into that administration, I realized they were no good. And I changed. I switched back to my
So you help Black Road in vain then?
Yeah, man. Trust me. You know, really sad. I regret it. But what we will do? Life goes on. But we need to look at that because look at man, then he poach Fuji, a man, then he poach sit down. Gunman come and shoot you right in the poach.
That is a wake-up call as it relates to crime. But you know what is upsetting with all of this? You can hear the PM coming and making rebuttals to all different kind of things, and he would go and reinforce and strengthen and build upon the campaign to go against CBI program. But as it relates to crime, as recent as they kill Kingo.
Yeah.
Who would go and kill Kingo?
Not a king.
Come on.
Nothing.
Listen, a life is a life, and all life is important. You understand? But there are those who would be involved in criminal activities. Listen, you live that lifestyle, you have to expect certain things in return. Yeah. But Kingo, brethren, an honest businessman who has helped people throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Not a word. Not a word, my brother.
Not, as my granny said, not a but life goes on. I hope people eyes are open and they look at what is going to benefit the country and benefit them, and they make the decisions based on that. Because you can't tell me that you can't find work. And the same plenty work they about. But when they go and they take your name and people do the due diligence as they do, and they figure you're supporting a different area and different people, you stop smoke your pipe.
Yeah. Jeez.
Fuji, have a good weekend.
Alright then, bless up yourself, my brother. Thanks for calling. But I could tell you that Vincentians are wiser now, though. The things that caught Vincentians in the past, the things that Vincentians voted for in the past, you can't try that these days. You can't. Those things not working anymore. Those things are ineffective these days, and it is evident. And I think I am fully aware, and I would put my head on the block that the government, they too realize, well, let me say the ULP. The ULP, they realize that these things are not working. They are irrelevant in this day and age. In this, listen, like in the last elections, for example, they basically ran a campaign on me not sell passport and me not sell out to China. And we don't want to hear nothing but jobs. That was it. You understand? There are reports where persons who bribe and all these kind of things. But if you don't approve of these things based on the RPA, there's not much that we can do if you don't approve. But there are persons who would say, well, they got bribe here, left, right, and center, and all them kind of things. But these things, if you realize Vincent Chan's not voting on these things anymore, and the ULP, they've realized it. So they're working tirelessly, they're working 10 times harder now than they were working in the last election. They've realized that persons not buying the me nah sell passport narrative. People not going with that anymore. They have realized that. If they were so confident in all that they've done and all that they've been doing over the past 24, 25 years, they could have sit down and relax, smoke a pipe, cock up the foot, sip a pina colada on the beach. They could have been doing that going into elections, but no. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Welcome.
You know what I'm voting for?
Talk to me. I'm listening.
We are one of the poorest country in the region.
We are one of the
poorest country in the region.
Some would say we're the second poorest. It's only Haiti.
Okay, but that family is the wealthiest in the region. Who have eyes to see will see.
My brother, listen, I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, but if you pay very close attention, just look at the sort of wealth that they've built up.
Man,
ULP politicians, just pay attention to the lifestyle now, my brother. You ain't watching people things, You ain't watching people things, but it makes you wonder. An ordinary politician, their lives have been tremendously, considerably transformed. Based on
millions,
what?
Millions.
Based on a parliamentarian salary? You're joking, right? Could never happen. Check it. Pay close attention to it, my brother. Yeah? Thank you for calling. We got some more. Let me share this one. I want to share this one. Permit me to share this one. The government didn't care whether or not I supported them over the years. When I was forced to take a vaccine I knew nothing about, I was fired because I refused it, which was my God-given right to do so. I am now a struggling single mother who once supported the ULP. This is what she says. This is what will determine how I vote in the upcoming general elections. What is it that will determine how you vote in the upcoming general elections? Some would say that Labour is working. Has Labour been working for you? Hit us up and you let us know. Somebody else says, I am voting for transparency and accountability. I want the debts hook to be removed from my grandchildren's neck or your grandchildren's gill. Growth is on paper. We the people are left behind. Their growth is growing, but not we the people. Who else want to get inside? Hit us up and let us know. What will determine how you vote in the upcoming general elections? Good morning. Hello, good morning. Anybody there? Good morning. Alright, we're not getting that one. Alright. Hit us up and let us know. Let me see. Somebody sent one. Somebody is just sharing a vision. They say NDP will win the election. It will be 13 for the NDP. That is a vision. But that's based on what though? Based on what? Let me see. More coming in via WhatsApp. More coming in. Of course, I'm going to have to read them through. Somebody says, Fuji, too much taxes. Taxes. We can talk about taxes. I mean, every single thing. High taxation. Would that be the determining factor for you going into the next or the upcoming general election. Somebody say high taxation. 4511069, you can call me. That's on the direct line. Or if you want to get in via WhatsApp, 4551069. You could hit us up via WhatsApp as well. Alright? Somebody says, man, it's just time for a change. This one-man leadership thing can't work. Too long into that. Hit us up and you let us know. Let me go over on the stream and see what's happening over inside there. I ain't check it out for a little bit. Hit me up and let me know. We got some commercials coming up. Someone else says, Fuji, too much dishonesty. That's all they said. Too much dishonesty. What's your take on it? Hit us up and let us know when we come back. Alright, keep it locked inside. Boom 1069 on a Thursday morning. Somebody want to get in before we take the break? Good morning. Who's on line number 1?
Good morning. I'm listening to you very ardently. What I would love to see is the government have a referendum on who wanted CBI.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm voting. I will vote for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Too much violence in the country. The economy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so on.
What about healthcare? You have any concerns about healthcare?
Yes, man. Our healthcare is in shambles.
All right. Somebody else was talking about taxation. Where are you on taxation?
We are very high on tax because we just borrow. There's no industry in the country we can look to.
All right.
Yeah, man. But let them call a referendum and CBI.
All right. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Now, he mentioned industry. Very important. He mentioned industry. And I mean, we can't even have a conversation where that is concerned because we just don't have it. I mean, there's so even if it has to do with processing, food processing. I mean, the way in which we can process fish right now. I mean, there's so many things. I know I actually interviewed the Minister of Agriculture some years ago. And he had made mention of, it was around the time when we were exporting livestock to Grenada. And my concern was, we are in a situation, I didn't see the longevity in it, but I was somewhat thinking ahead, going forward. I mean, okay, so we're sending off, but what are we doing to replenish? There was no plan in place. So here we are presently reaping the repercussion or living or experiencing the repercussions of that. That was one area. But one of the main concerns that I had back then was here we are shipping off livestock to Grenada. They have abattoirs set up. So they could do a lot as it relates to processing. Right? So they process and they would add value and then they sold back the same or resold the same livestock that we sent down there. They went through various processes and then they resell to us at a higher price than what they paid for the livestock. Now my question then was, what are we doing even if it's one abattoir? We could start with a small one in the most convenient constituency or community and we build upon that. At least one. Nothing. And I am certain that discussion was almost 10 years ago. Nothing. Nothing that we can take raw materials from and add value and export. Whether it is ginger. I mean, I grew up in Kingston Park where we have endless lemongrass. Listen, the only thing we did with lemongrass was burn it down. Until I went to New York and saw the kind of price that you had to pay for lemongrass. I mean, I have seen a number of persons going into it now, which is encouraging. But that's on a small scale, and that's based still locally, perhaps regionally. But nothing is done to be reaching the international markets. When we were promised about some of the reasons for the international airport, I am not downplaying the international airport, but these are the things that were promised to us, that it would open up, opportunities for us to be able to connect with international markets. We're not getting that. There's so many people who are doing all different kinds of processing, and nothing is just locally, in some cases regionally, hardly tapping into the markets that are there. International, I mean, cassava, arrowroot, Jesus, peace, nothing. Good morning, caller, sorry.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, welcome. I got carried away.
No problem. Well, I always listen to your station, but this is the first time I'm calling. I wanted to change the narrative a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready for the man to call the thing. We're ready to vote.
You see, I thought at one point that they were confident that it will be a 6th term for them in office. My thing is, if you're that confident, just go ahead and do it. You don't have to worry about what is undone, because you're going back there, you would get to complete whatever it is.
Correct. 75-star general call election.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see, my brother. But what would determine how you vote going into the elections? What would determine how you vote?
As everybody else said before, the economy, crime, healthcare. Watch the roads, them. They can't even drive on the roads properly. You have to dodge all over the place.
Mm-hmm. But they would say that there's infrastructure, they're putting up buildings. We have a new port that's coming. We built an airport. We built the bridge in Rabaka and like polyclinics and all. We're building a hospital in Annesville. So construction is booming, they would say.
Look at our port here now. We can't even get things coming properly and go out properly. Every minute the crane breaking down.
Ah, jeez. So the day-to-day upkeep, maintenance is not even where it's supposed to be.
Correct.
Alright then, my buddy. Alright. Thank you. And call again, feel free to call again, right?
No problem.
Alright then, good. Let's go pay some bills. And we come right back. Alright, keep it locked inside.
This Friday, all roads lead to the Calico Hardcore for the launching of the Bacchanal. We're talking about Let's Chicago.
Boom 1069, the sound setter of radio.
Young got no one that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we telling now. Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 1069.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 1069.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
For that.
Paddler's Diapers. Paddlers for comfort, care, and cost. Absorbent, long-lasting diapers for babies and adults. I will only give my loved ones the best. Paddlers are available at Lanes and selected distributors. Lanes, the family store for value.
This isn't just a run. With each step begins a new journey. A journey of determination, persistence, and self-discovery. With each step, I embark on a quest to push myself beyond expectations, beyond standards. Each stretch, a reminder of the flexibility of the human spirit. With each step, I am breaking barriers. As I push to the finish, I'm filled with pride. Not just for what I've achieved today, but for the journey that has brought me here. This isn't just a run. It's a testament to the human spirit, and I am here for it. Island Sips, beyond standards, beyond expectations, beyond water.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
It's a vibe, a statement.
Touch of Class, Pink in Greece edition, June 7th. Don't just hear about it, be a part of it.
Get your tickets now before it's another sold out headline.
Money Matters on Boom 106.9 FM. Brought to you by KCCU, with you in mind.
Good times don't have to mean big spending. Next time your crew is planning a line, be the first to throw out an idea. Something fun and easy on the wallet. Instead of an expensive night out, how about a beach picnic? A game of small goal football or even a board game night can be just as enjoyable without the heavy price tag. The vibes stay high, but your pockets stay full. The best memories aren't about how much you spend, but who you spend time with.
That was Money Matters on the trending station, Boom 106.9 FM. Brought to you by KCCU, with you in mind.
At KCCU, you're our top priority. We're here.
Boom 106.9, the sound setter of radio.
Ain't got no one that back calling me splurge. Why me jump right off the curb?
New year, different lane.
We gon' spin and kill everybody. And we telling now.
Bend that over, let that breathe. Shake that.
Boom 106.9.
Hands on your knees.
Unleash the sound revolution now on Boom 106.9.
You're watching IKTV, channel 112. It's all about you.
I love it! On 106.9.
Woman move from in front the door. 10 years. How can I ignore? 10 years. You know I done book up me flight. 10 years. This ain't no time to be picking fight. 10 years. Darling. 10 years. Stop your crying. 10 years. No more begging. 10 years. Useless pleading. 10 years. Girl, it's 10 years of mass and music. 10 years. 10 years I can't refuse it. 10 years. 10 years of one big fusion. 10 years. Calypso and mass and steam band. 10 years a DJ, pumping night and day, jam till we break away.
That's me. Alright, hey, don't forget Vincy Mas the New York launch, the official launch of Vincy Mas the New York's edition. That's it right there. This coming Saturday night. Alright, let me see if I can remember it off the top of my head. 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York. Alright, go check it out. And am I correct, Ann? Let's go back on the inside. We got a few more. We got Pastor coming in 4 minutes. So we gotta be quick on the draw right now. If you wanna call, few seconds. Straight to the point. and then we go. All right, no sticking, no stalling, straight to the point. You gotta be precise. All right, if you wanna call 451-1069 direct, 455-1069 via the WhatsApp. Let me share some more that came inside. I have an interesting one that I think I'll end with that one. All right, what are the main concerns? What are some of the things that will determine how you vote this coming general election? Somebody says here, good morning to all on Boom. Morning, Fuji. My list for voting, my list for voting for change is a long one, and they are as follows. All right, crime, transparency, accountability, taxation, infrastructural maintenance, SPGs, indebtedness, CBI, and more. All right, that's one that came in. Let me share another one. I think I even have a voice note and all that I'll play. All right, the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are urged to cast their votes in support of fundamental freedoms, the equitable application of rights, justice, and democratic principles. Embracing these ideals will usher in a revitalizing change for the nation. Above all, let this election champion the advancement of the blue economy in alignment with divine guidance. Thank you for sharing. Somebody says, I will be voting for a reduction in VAT for my children's CXC subjects to be paid for. I am voting so that Bigger Bigs could get compensation for his land. The country also needs to become an export-driven economy that will earn foreign exchange. All right, somebody else says, man, it's plain and simple. Too much lies. Too much lies. That's all I would want. That's what I would be voting for this coming elections. Too much lies. Well, voting against. That is. Let me play this one. Let me see if I get it.
Hey, Doc. You ever watch the movie Chucky? With the guy that was counting the coins, right? So when he realized that, okay, he reached like 98, 99, and like he realized that one is missing, he getting scared, right? He gets scared. That is how Ralph scared right now, because as you say, if he's so sure and he believed that he's the sixth general, call the election, let's go. Like in Canada, right? They call the election because I think that the man believed that he have the confidence that he gonna win. So they call the election. So he call the election. Let's go, man.
All right. I wanna end with this one. Well, it came in via my WhatsApp, and I know who it's from. I'm not gonna share who it came from, but it said, Fuji, I was actually moved to call this morning, but I prefer not to. So I sent a message. All right, it says here, supermarket prices continue to rise because of high import duties. And as a business owner, we have to do our best to absorb most of these costs instead of passing them on to customers. It's a tremendous challenge trying to stay afloat and having to pay workers instead of laying off. But you see where the government has been gifting foreigners with years of tax breaks and other concessions. That is what will determine how I vote in the upcoming general elections. Yeah? Let me see. Pastor is there yet? No, not as yet. Well, there's where we're gonna wrap it up for today. I should be back tomorrow by the grace of God. We will. But tomorrow we'll decide what we're doing tomorrow. Not too sure what would transpire during the rest of the day today, tonight, early in the morning. So, but we'll prepare nonetheless. We will be prepared. But you know something? I wanna go in one of these days. A lot of people would pay attention to and wonder why. How is it for 4 years nothing would be done or next to nothing or hardly anything, or enough is not being done during the early 4 years of each term. But in the final year, or final few months leading up to general elections, you want to know where the money coming from. All of a sudden, all kind of works, road fixing, projects getting started, groundbreaking here, there, and everywhere. Now, a lot of people would think that it is to manipulate the minds of the voting populace. All right? In some instances, that is the case, yes. But one of these days, I'll share with you the real machinery, the real intent behind that strategy. It's a strategy. And it hardly has anything to do with bribing anybody. But that's where we're going to end it for today. Pastor Richards is in the back right there, waiting to come forward, Shady. Let's bring Pastor upwards and then we jump inside.
Let's check in with the data. Let's check in with the data and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
Pastor Richards, good morning, my brother. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hi there. Morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Family.
Family.
I heard you talking about Kingston Park and all that lemongrass.
But you remember all them lemongrass over the hill by the Nabrigo side there?
Enough.
Oh my God.
As a free crop. You don't need to plant it. You don't need to maintain it.
No, nothing. And all we did was burn it. and that's a gold mine. That's a gold mine there, you know.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, real. I mean, it's gonna be one of the cheapest crops to produce. All you have to study is packaging and exporting.
That's it.
Yeah, boy, we miss out on something there.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it's still there. The grass is still there.
But the prices, you said the prices in New York.
Listen, a packet of lemongrass in some parts you might pay from $3 US upwards, according to the sizes.
Yeah, and it's not like a big 1 pound bag you get in here.
No, imagine if it's 1 pound. Jeez.
That might be the green gold we are searching for.
That is it, literally. Oh man! All right. So what you have for us today?
There might be some dimensions as to why this has not taken off and been exported because it's so free. Well, it's so available. There's got to be some reasons that I don't know.
I don't know. It needs exploring.
Yeah, there's always something, I don't and I don't ever presume when I talk about these things like it gets so opinionated that we should be doing this, we should be doing that. I always think, boy, there's got to be a reason that I'm not aware of.
Perhaps there is.
I'm humbled by that. I very interesting discussion this morning on what will determine how you vote. I think I might swing by and chat a little bit about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, feel free. Welcome.
Yeah, the CPEA students, let me make sure I can hear you turn this up so I can hear. The CPEA students are wrapping up their exams today. Wish them all the best on that. This week I don't know. Every time I plan to say something on boom, the prevailing discussion assumes the pole position. So I take off from there. But with respect to the children, don't judge them. Parents, I want to talk with you, parents, and teachers too. I don't think teachers might be listening. They're in classroom now, but academic performance, that's only one metric. Academic performance is only one metric, and it is way down the totem pole. I know, especially when they hit grade 6, if not before that, maybe grade 5, the intense pressure and the focus on academics practicing CPA papers back and forth, the lessons, and drilling them in CPA back and forth, and judging them on the basis of performance. And when the results come back, here in just a little bit, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when the results come back, some children are going to be judged on the basis of how they perform academically. There's a whole lot more going on with children. Take it from here. I'm not just saying this off the top of my head. Most of you know where my studies have been in. There's a whole lot more going on with children than meets the eye. And apart from academics that we need to talk about, the number of factors. Sometimes the eye can pick up on clusters of behavioral patterns and mood patterns and all of that, that you might begin to think about something is going on with my child. But most parents that I have interacted with don't really think about these. Don't really think about some of the issues that might be affecting their children. A number of children that, how do I say this? They have issues that go undiagnosed. A lot of this, and we beat upon them because they don't perform well, and we put at the top metric performance academically. You know that there are quite a number of students in school. Just recently, one mother reported that CPA exams coming up, and the child is exhibiting symptoms of anxiety disorders. That is a significant thing. A lot of the times that the pressure that is put on children, sometimes they're predisposed chemically. No fault of theirs at all. They're predisposed chemically, and at the slightest catalyst, anxiety disorders and GADs, generalized anxiety disorders, begin to manifest themselves. Stress-related disorders, mood disorders. I think I'll take some time later on in another program to deal with some of the things that are affecting your children that you don't see. Obsessive compulsive disorders. I think I have dealt with this once. Antisocial personality disorder, disruptive behavioral patterns and disorders. Those are disorders. ADHD is a major one because it manifests itself in different ways and affect how the student performs academically, and affects how the student relates and performs socially. And when these go undiagnosed, you might think that this child is not giving enough effort, this child is not performing well, this child is disappointing me, etc., etc. And it could be that the child is able to carry X load, and we're giving him or her 20 times the load that child ought to be carrying, and it's really destructive to the child. There's no therapy because it's not diagnosed. Any of these disorders, it's not diagnosed, it's untreated. There's no medication. In the case of ADHD, there's nothing given to them, and they're expected to perform as if they are normal. I think there needs to be a little bit of education on the things that shape our children and the things that affect the performance of our children academically and socially. And so that we become more aware, more sympathetic, or Mr. Weeks, empathetic, and that we become more helpful and understanding, and we don't go to the extent of heaping the kind of pressures upon them that they can't bear. So I'm just peeking that, I'm just teasing it, but that is something that I am going to have to talk about, or if there are other skilled care professionals who can help in this area of just educating and informing parents of what's going on with their children. There's a whole lot more beyond the academics. I went that way today because I know they're wrapping up CPA, but that's just a tip that I shared there. There's a whole lot more to share on what's affecting children. I'll use the next few minutes of my program this morning to talk about what the issue that you've been talking about. What determines how you going to vote in the next election? And I listened with interest. Excuse me. I listen with interest because I want to know. I mean, people are going to talk their minds and they're going to talk about what is going to inform their vote. So I'm like, this is going to be worth hearing. So let me tell you what I heard. And Fugitive, let me know if I missed any. Okay, Fugitive, you there? Let me know if I missed any.
For sure. I'm right here. For sure.
What I heard is that the issue of healthcare, that's going to determine. I have some angst there. I heard crime.
Crime, yep.
I won't vote on the basis of crime, right? By the way, inform yourself on all of these properly if this is going to be your metric that determines your vote, right? So, and I'm not beating up on anybody. I'm just saying what I heard. Fugitive, you heard me, right? I'm saying what I heard.
Yeah.
So, I heard I heard economy.
Yeah, some persons are concerned about the state of the economy.
Yeah. There's a whole root system of things that come under that one tree. Economy, a whole lot that comes under that come under that. Then I heard taxation. I think one person, maybe two, mentioned, and for sure one mentioned taxation.
High taxation,
taxes carrying the economy. I go vote on the basis of that. I go vote on the basis of taxation. So I'm listening. I'm like, this is interesting. People go vote on taxation. All right, that's your privilege. Roads. I think I heard roads.
Yeah. Somebody. Interestingly. No, actually, two persons, I think.
Yeah, it's out there. So that's just, and those are representative. Of course, it's not two persons in St. Vincent. That's representative. If you do a poll, if 10 people call and 2 said roads, and that's rough representation. 20% of the people thinking roads. By the way, that's not a precise thing. That's just I'm projecting. All right, so don't go by that. Don't go by that. What did I miss? Healthcare, crime, economy, taxation, roads. What did I miss?
Well, the one I ended with the tax breaks and concessions that are given to foreigners versus what is given to local businesses.
Okay,
that was the one.
Okay,
and the vaccine. The
I didn't hear
the post vaccine mandate there.
So people are going to be voting on the vaccine mandate, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I heard. So you can't blame me what these lion ears heard. That's what I heard. This is not what I said. This is what I heard. All right. If you have a problem with that, have a problem with those who mentioned it. But those are the things that people are saying going to determine votes. You know what I didn't hear?
I'm tempted to ask what would determine how you vote in the next elections. But you share. It's your time. You share. Go ahead.
Well, I've shared many times on this radio what determines my vote. Many times. By the way, I didn't hear what I didn't hear. But I think this is a factor. And by the way, I'm going to use all P's so that if you want to write them down, you can remember. What I did not hear is party loyalty. Doesn't that determine vote?
Yeah, but
when I say party loyalty, tribalism and fealty to a party and commitment, that there's some people in this country. I am NDP.
You sure you don't want to put party blind loyalty? I don't know.
Well, that'll be putting words in my mouth there. Just commitment and fealty is a sense of duty to a party, and trust me that there are people for reasons of their own. Maybe they were slighted, maybe they were burned by a party, maybe something happened to them and they're going and come hell or high water, it ain't matter. They don't look at anything. They already know right now who they're going to vote for because of party loyalty. And I didn't hear that. I thought that was strange that I didn't hear somebody come on and say NDP is my party, I'm voting for NDP. Or ULP is my party, I'm voting for ULP.
Like
I'm
I
surprised.
started off by saying is that I get the impression that Vincentians are much more wiser, more educated on a lot of the issues, the policies, and they start paying attention. So things that work, strategies that worked back then are somewhat becoming irrelevant present day.
But
Not
you
sure
don't
if
think
you've
that
seen it, but
is that in the minority or the majority in terms of the independents who are swinging from one party to the other and have no
Probably.
loyalty, no fealty, no commitment? You see, that
be in
would
the
be
minority. Going based on my own observation, so
you're
I don't think
breaking
it's a
up.
general consensus. It's just from what I've been paying attention to. Oh yeah, I
Okay.
realized it just dropped out there. You hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm asking if, won't you say that the majority of people in this country have already calcified their
Yeah.
set out
Yep.
and
Yep.
their position in terms of they don't vote. I will be
Yes.
voting NDP in the
Yes.
upcoming election, or I will be
Yes.
voting ULP in the coming election. Come
Yes.
hell I want it.
Yes.
So whether it's roads ain't matter, crime ain't matter, economy ain't matter, taxation ain't matter, healthcare
The
ain't
minds
matter.
have already been made
Yeah,
up.
mine's already made up. You don't think that the most of the people are there?
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
What I didn't hear also is another term that I've used in the past. We don't use this term in St. Vincent a lot, pork barreling. But
I
I've
never
talked
heard
about this. You never heard it?
Nah, I never heard that.
It gonna be worth looking at pork barreling. It's a practice that is done worldwide by politicians, particularly the party that is in power. A tendency to direct projects to areas where they want to show up their vote. So if I know that X constituency, that's why it's called pork barreling, the pork in the barrel. It is called.
I mean, we're familiar with the practice. We probably know it by the name. Yeah. Okay.
It's a thing that is done. It's not a Vincentian thing. You expect parties to do this. It's going to happen. It's a given. Republicans do it. Democrats do it. Elon Musk did it when he gave this 1 million, whatever. How much was he given in Pennsylvania? He was given like $1 million to register to vote or something like that. I can't remember what it was. So it comes in different shapes and forms, and it happens. But nobody is going to say that. So it doesn't matter what the record has been in roads and healthcare and taxation and whatever, in whatever country it is. If the pork barreling is effective, that determines people vote. Like, what do I get out of this? So I didn't hear that. I'm wondering if that is not a factor. I am wondering. Maybe that's a sign that that's not going to be a factor here in St. Vincent. You could do all you want, whatever. What I didn't hear too is, and this bothered me a lot, that I didn't hear something that I've been championing for a long time when it comes to determining your party philosophy, the philosophy of the party, an understanding of where they stand ideologically, and whether are they trending towards capitalism? Are they trending towards being social democrats, social democracy? Are they trending towards, because party philosophy could guide how you do a lot of your policies, whether your economic policies or your foreign policy, for example. Who you will relate to? Do you want to be a friend of Taiwan? Do you want to be a friend of mainland China? If you tend to be more open and democratic in your philosophy, you might want to trend towards a champion Taiwan. If you want to be more socialist, or even beyond, more extreme beyond socialism, to soft communism or whatever, you might want to champion a relationship with China. So your party philosophy has got to, because so much would spin off party philosophy. And one of my things is that, have we really examined if there's a fundamental difference in party philosophy between the ULP and the NDP. I know where I stand on that, but it is clear to me. But I don't know if people really examine what's the difference. How do we differentiate between ULP and NDP? How do we differentiate between the two? There are a lot of okay, let me let you judge that. Let me not give my opinion on that. But yeah, that I think that ought to play a role and not just. Let me move on because I'm out of time actually. So
No, I
let me
mean,
just.
I think that it is still present among, and I think that you see, like earlier you made mention of the party loyalty. I think some of that would be derived from where they stand on this party policy.
Are we sufficiently aware? If
Everybody won't pay attention to it, but there are those who are.
hold on. Where you hear discussions about politics, drop that in and ask them what's the difference in party philosophy between the ULP and the NDP. Just drop that in and listen to the responses to hear how informed people are on this issue. I find it interesting. It's like,
it is, but there are persons who would have that level of discussion. There's some, it's a non-issue. They don't pay attention.
Most of your voters, ask them to outline for you party philosophy of ULP as distinct party philosophy of NDP. Just ask them to outline that. See what, to me, that ought to be a major player, but I don't hear that, you know. Because and let me go to this last one and you see why I said that's important. Because on one hand you could have party philosophy, and the other hand you could, well, policies, right, which is the last P that I would share. You know, I'm going to vote based on, someone might say I'm going to vote based on policy. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that coming out. Maybe it was implied. There was an implicit understanding of when you talked about roads and hospitals and economy and all of that. Maybe you were talking policy there. I think that ought to be a clear delineator, a very clear delineator between the ULP and the NDP. The policies of the ULP have got to be sufficiently distinct from the policy of NDP. Other than that, you're going to have 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. If they're going to practice and employ the same policies, and if NDP is coming in with the same policies or supposedly coming in, I don't know how the election is going to go, right? Or ULP is going to supposedly continue, because I don't know how the election is going to go, with the same policies, then there's got to be a reason why I'm going with ULP rather than NDP, or I'm going with NDP rather than ULP. What are the policies? Are we sufficiently informed? I tell you what, policies are made clear to us when we don't have a sufficient informational understanding of what the policies are. We can't articulate them. For the average Vincentian, they are made plain through practices, what you do. And I think this is the demarcation between the ULP and the NDP, because the ULP is in a position right now where we can evaluate them through practices. And the NDP, we can evaluate them through what is on paper. Now, this is very important, the point that I'm making. So listen me. On the one hand, the ULP, you could evaluate their policies through what they have been practicing over 25 years. So you get to wrap your arms around it, the big hairy things that they're doing. You get to wrap your hands around it. And the NDP, on the other hand, you have what you have on paper, promises on what we're going to do. So you have to evaluate based on what the NDP is promising and what the ULP is practicing. See what I did there? What the NDP is promising and what the ULP is practicing. And you've got to say there's a sufficiently clear delineation between the ULP.
But what happens in the case? What happens in the case, because remember now, at every term, at the end of every term, crossing over into elections, they would both promise, and there is the evidence of who would not deliver on what they promise.
Good point. Excellent point. And so there has to be and then it brings it down to the matter of trust, therefore.
There we go.
Trust. And then
trust
when you
based
dig
on what
deep,
you've seen, trust
well,
based on what you don't know, or what you haven't seen.
well, there are a number of things I can say about I will withhold, but let me say this last one. Personality, because again, and if you've listened to me long enough, you know this, that I have talked about the our humanity that comes out in our personality, and this is something that I'm aware of when I'm looking at two different teams, the NDP and the ULP. I don't make the mistake of saying, boy, the people on one, the paragon of virtues, or the people on the other, they are the citadel of moral ethics and all of that. I don't say that, because if you look from leader down on both sides, you have human with imperfections, and they carry baggage. All of them, they carry baggage. So I don't necessarily say, well, these are the heap of mistakes on this side, so I can't go with that, I'm going with the other, because don't assume this pretension of perfection. Two more P's there for you. Don't assume a pretension of perfection as if, okay, one side messing up, the other side not going to mess up, because we're dealing with human. Again, that ought to figure into how I do my vote. Don't make your vote based on the idealized perfection. All right? That ULP perfect, we're going to vote for them, or NDP perfect, we're going to vote for them. And there are faults on both sides. So you can't let that be a major delineator in your decision. So these are things to consider other than what you have said. I know that you have talked about healthcare, roads, and crime, and the economy, and taxation, and something else I missed. I know you have talked about these things and they're important to you, but there are some more topographical, more weighty things to consider, like policies and like the party philosophy and the pork barreling, and there are things, other personalities, and the perfectionism ideal. There are a lot of other things to consider, and lastly, when you vote in the margin. Each party has real positives. Trust me on that. Real positives, and each party has its negatives.
True.
So you can't base on the ideal that one party, there's another P for you, one party has pure positives. You can't vote on that. You have to vote in the margin. I think I've said that before, time and time again. Maybe it will catch on. You have to weigh in the balances and see where the positives and negatives, where the equation is on that. And in the end, and this is where you're going to get my answer as to what party I'm going to vote for. In my estimation, when I consider all of those topographical things, especially philosophy, overarching policies, and the personalities, yes, but really foundational axial policies, as practiced or as presented, I will make a decision on which of the two parties will have the edge. Notice I said the edge, because it's not like one is good and one is bad for the country, but one will have a slighter edge than the other when it comes to the governance of the country. And based on the one which in the equation, when I look at all of the metrics, based on the one that looks like it has the edge for the governance of the country, that party is going to get my vote. That's not even a constituency vote. It's not a matter of the personality in the constituency. It's based on, I'll make a decision on the party that is going to govern the country better, and then I will choose whatever candidate they put in my constituency.
Right, fair enough.
I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. I actually picked up on it even before you concluded, but I wanted to ask though, based on like perfection, I mean, no one's perfect, but how much time is enough time for somebody to prove themselves? For someone to prove themselves?
when you say prove yourself, prove themselves to be perfect.
I mean, as close to. I mean, we all humans. We would err from time to time,
Yes.
right? But in terms of delivering, on promises, how much time is enough time to give someone to prove
The
themselves?
burden of proof is really on the permit me to be loose with this use of term burden of proof, but on the party that's in power, because they are the ones under the microscope.
Right.
And that's sometimes a disadvantage where I've seen this practice elsewhere outside of this country. Recently here in the United States, Biden was under the microscope because he was the party in power. And so you tend to see more things, dig more things. You have a greater body of material to work with, to analyze. The party that seeks power is basically running incognito, so they have the advantage. Because nobody know what the people see what's on paper, people see what's promised, but they don't really get the chance to access them in action. So you could promise the world, but you have no sense of assessing them as much. So the party that is in power is actually at a disadvantage when we begin to analyze from we have so much, especially here in St. Vincent. You have 25 years of material, body of work of the ULP to analyze and to poke at and to dig under and all of that. So it's a heavier burden typically on one hand with the reigning party, but also with the reigning party they have quite an advantage. I don't want to dig into. So on the one hand, because you're party in power, you have a disadvantage. But on the other hand, boy, the party in power has a significant advantage. So you have to weigh and balance that out. Basically, you can't be simplistic. You can't be simplistic in your analysis when it comes. You have to analyze, be fair, assess, and be willing to admit the plus and the negatives and the positives, and then make a decision in the margin as to which party is better for the governance. And I'm sure NDP brings stuff to the table. I'm sure ULP brings stuff to the table. But at the end of the day, one party might edge the other. In an Olympic race, 100 meters final, you have the world's best sprinters. They have real stuff going on. But in the end, something will edge that whole cadre, that whole cast of 8 runners. Some one of them will have a little bit, whether it is muscle twitch or something or practice, and they will have the little bit of an edge over the other, and they're going to win. And so that's how it is. It's not that the parties are bad or this or that. I mean, they bring to the table what parties bring to the table. One of them might have a little bit of an edge in terms of governance over the other. And where I perceive that, that's where I'm going to go.
All right, then. Thank you, Pastor.
All right. Take care.
Until after the weekend, have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Bye.
All right, then. Good. Yeah. 19 minutes inside 10 o'clock. I didn't even know the time went so far. So here's what we're going to wrap it up for today. I just got confirmation that the person that reportedly got chopped in Glen last night, he's lost his life. All right, so that has been confirmed. Unfortunately, condolences to the family and friends and all those who grieve. All right, that's where we're going to shut it down for today until tomorrow morning when we step back on the inside with you right here. Boom, 106.9 OMG in the morning. DJ Shady and the Fugitive signing out for another day.